Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, good morning, my beautiful coffee beans. It's nice to see you this beautiful morning. All the people over. I didn't even realize the vertical. You guys literally had nothing to look at through the whole intro. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully we're coming in clear. I'm hoping that where everything's jiving. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We cover true crime. Let me get this person off here. We don't need this person up here just yet. We got a lot to go over before we get to this point. We got a lot to go over. So it is good to see every one of you. If you are on the vertical stream, actually, let me just go ahead and make them match them. There we go. There we go. Okay, there we go. So we're on the vertical stream. We're on the horizontal stream. We've got Summer Wells. That's going to be the topic of conversation. We kind of had a few breaking news. We never really got back to our show that we did last week. So we're going to start picking that up this week and covering that particular show. So it's nice to see everybody. We're going to get back on track. We did kind of take a detour yesterday for those that were here. We had a problem with a lady here in my county. And I'm just going to put this out here, and everybody can come and beat Bullhorn Betty up, and I really don't care because I'm just going to put it out here. I want to make sure that we are all above board. Everybody tells me that I need to be doing things behind the scenes, keeping my mouth shut like Jonathan Lee Riches does, and that's what Jonathan taught me to do as well. I find that very cowardly. Okay, I like people knowing that I'm coming. I like them knowing when I strike, and I like them knowing that I've accomplished what I actually focused to do, and I came out to do. And I'm going to tell BT and all of her little fans out there, Rumble is a conservative platform. Rumble, I have and know many of the execs of Rumble. Okay, I don't know how long she thinks she's going to last on Rumble, but I'm going to tell you, the next event I go to, and I get the chance to speak to the reps that I always see at every event I go to as Trump's front row Joe, Bullhorn Betty. I am going to make sure that that the executives get to see the shit that she's putting on there. I'm going to take it right to these execs, and I'm going to make sure that her account is not only that, I'm going to let them know she's been thrown off of YouTube for this shenanigans, and she goes to your platform and starts it all over again. So we are going to be, I tell you, I'm done. Leave me alone, or I'm going to come after everything you guys love and just move on. Bullhorn Betty's in your name again. I'm going to destroy your life, okay? I am done with the bullshit. You want to come after me over lies? Fine. You want to call me a racist? Fine. I am going to take everything away from you. Little by slow, I am going to work on taking every freaking thing away from you, and I do have the balls to do it because you are on these platforms, and now that you're rejected by your own people, which is all these oligarchs, and now you're thrown on to conservative platforms. You're not going to run that shit on conservative platforms. Okay, I can guarantee that. You might have fun time right now, but it's only a matter of time before I get in front of the people that I need to get in front of. And you're now in my dog and pony show, little girl. When you're over on Rumble, now you're in my world. Okay? I don't go over there. I don't have a following over there, but I have a following everywhere else. And you don't understand. I know the Rumble execs, when they were getting these things off the ground, who do you think? Like even Public Square. Public Square. I know every single executive over at Public Square. Patriot Mobile. Same thing. Same thing. So it's just going to be a matter of time before I go into an event and I speak to an exec and I show them specifically this woman's channel, and I will do that. Believe that, and she knows I will. I'm telling the world I'm going to do that, because when her channel goes bye-bye on Rumble, I want everybody to know that that was Bullhorn Betty. Okay, so that's where we're going to be. I'm done. I'm done with the bullying on these platforms. I told you I'm going to do something about it, and I plan on it. All right, we're going to move on, but that's going to be the last time I speak of it. We're going to be here one day, and one day we're not going to be. Okay? And that's going to be the power of Bullhorn Betty. I do things legitimately. I do things above board. I'm going to continue to do it. And I'm going to continue to come out here and show you guys and lead by example that we don't let shitbags run these streets. We take our power back and we rule them. That's what we do. It's nice to see everybody. Melanie, Tammy. Love being mom of 4. Oh, I love that name. I do love that name. Thank you for being here. Peggy, Sassy Granny, Meow, it's nice to see you. Cheyenne, Tammy, YouTubers, Shauna, it's nice to see you. Carmela. And again, just for the hate, just leave me alone. Like, right? You don't hear me barfing your name out of my mouth because you're probably not very important, okay? And you guys are always the first one to talk about grifting and clout chasing, but yet here you are clout chasing. You've been clout chasing me for 5 years. Okay? You will never be a Bullhorn Betty. You will never be anything remotely like the people in my chat because they're good people. You will always be pieces of shit until the day you decide you're tired of being a piece of shit. Okay? But I don't have time for your nonsense. Hold on, I gotta adjust my... Did I get that out? Do I even need my light up? Sorry, I can't stand. Do I need my light? I don't think I need my light this morning. Do I need my light? Yeah, I guess I do. Hold on. Let me adjust my camera. Okay, sorry guys. I can't adjust it any other way. Sorry for giving you a close-up shot, okay? I'm sorry guys, but you had to fix some things. I need light because you guys need to see me. Hi! Hi, I'm Bullhorn Betty. It's nice to see everybody. It's nice to see everybody. And we have the most content on the Summer Wells case. This is her mother, Candace Bly, or up here, wherever you might be. Very, very disgusting lady, okay? Every single child she's had, we don't even know how many children she's had. We've counted between 6 and 10 children this lady has pushed out of her body. And not one of those children are with her. Every single one of the children that this lady has had has been removed from her custody. She is a terrible mother, okay? She's a substance abuse addict. She's been a substance abuse addict since she was a little girl. She comes from a horrible home because her mother is Grandis, right? Her mother is Grandis. Her mother turned her into this monster that she has now become. Her mother did not care for her, and unfortunately, she doesn't even have a good education. Candace is a product of her mother. Don is a product of his family, okay? And these two products of the family created Summer Wells, right? And Summer Wells was a second set of children for both Don and Candace, a second set. So I'm just going to read in like a little intro, and then we're going to start diving into this channel. Burr, it's cold here. Oh, Lisa. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Okay, give me a second. I was meaning before I turned the lights on to get my snow photos. So now you guys are just going to have to wait here for a second because we've been bouncing around with these darn snow. We got some pretty snow photos. Okay, folks? We got some pretty snow photos, but I've got to go through here and make sure that nothing's up here. We're going to let the carousel go through. I wish the carousel was... Let me see if I can make this a little smaller so you guys can see the carousel. That's not what I'm doing. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I had the wrong thing. Let's see if we can make this a little smaller so you guys can at least see the whole. Oops, no, I don't even have the whole. Here we go. I think that'll work out a little better for the folks in the portrait mode. If you guys are in the portrait mode, you guys may want to come over to the horizontal mode. I've got the ads going every 12 minutes, and you have 5 days before you can ever speak on my portrait mode. It's because we're not monitoring the chat over there. So the people that want to be over there that don't communicate, that are in the bushes, that are just like the portrait mode, that's the best place for you to be. But if you're over here and you want to communicate and you're a member of the Bullhorn Betty channel, then you want to be over here in the landscape mode, the horizontal mode, the one that goes on your computers and your TV screen. So anyways, I'm going to keep reminding you guys of this because we do have, we are changing some things on this channel, and I have to remind you because every day we have new people that haven't been on the channel in a while, family coffee club members. It's the holiday seasons. A lot of people are traveling. A lot of people, have things going on. Plus, a lot of people decided after Charlie Kirk to go out and touch some grass, unplug from social media for a while, spend some time with friends. Millions of people all over the country chose to do that. They chose to seriously, oh, thank you, Melanie. Melanie gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received a Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Melanie thank you. And it looks like, Tammy, you received that. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the insane asylum. Grab your straight jacket and your padded room and welcome aboard. Thank you. And I think you had something else up here. I didn't quite get to it yet. There you are. There you are. And she says, Happy Tuesday, Betty, Delilah, mods, and chat. It's snowing here. I will take pictures. Much love, Betty. Don't forget to hit that like button for BHB. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, don't forget to show some love this morning. We've been working very hard to try to rebuild this new studio, right? We're trying to do something a little bit better. We're trying to overlay ourselves. We're trying to give you a better user experience on these shows and show details. With the versatility of this program, I can blow stuff up. When we go out there and we're looking at things, searching for people and stuff like that. Well, when we come back here and we open up those videos and look at that, we have the ability to really scroll in there and overlay ourselves over that and talk about a specific, area. Think about like right here. I mean, if there was something right here, we would be able to point to it and explain it to you and everything. We were not able to do that on StreamYard or Restream. This is only brought to us by OBS, and I've got to build this stuff from scratch. It's frustrating at times, but I'm really due. Thank you. Which reminds me, I did have somebody that sent me a Cash App. Brandon sent me, and I forgot to tell him thank you. So big shout out to Brandon. I appreciate that. Sorry for acting. I didn't say thank you yesterday because I was too busy being a rabid hyena. So, sometimes that just has to come out of me. When I've had enough, I've had enough. I don't like being like that, and I don't like getting to that point. But one thing you're not going to do, again, I'm just going to remind everybody, I choose to be here. You want to say things to me, you want to beat me up, that's fine. Leave my family and friends out of it. They didn't choose to be on this platform, and I'll be damned if you're going to. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I find out who you are when you're doing this, like BT, I got payback for you, baby. We haven't danced yet, honey. I'm coming for you. Don't ever forget. You will be exposed before long. Okay, Bullhorn Betty is not done. As a matter of fact, I'm over you going to Rumble. I'm going to go ahead and start filing a federal suit. I was going to file a suit against Peggy yesterday. I've already got it in me to file a suit. You're the one that's now up on the chopping block. So I'll see you in federal court. But the thing is, baby, I'm going to make sure we do it here because I have a choice to be here in Florida. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up having to travel to Florida. I just want to let you know that. You're going to end up having to travel to Florida. You're going to keep screwing around with me until I'm going to force you to come here to my state to defend yourself for your shenanigans. That's what's going to end up happening, ladies. So keep going. Keep going. Your day is going to come. I've given you and showed you enough grace, but, at the end of the day, by the end of this week, I'm filing suit, and I'm going to work to unmask you. So, congratulations. I don't know what else to tell you. Congratulations. I wish you the best. I really do. I wish you the best. I'm pretty sure your boyfriend's going to be pissed off, and so is your mama, because you're going to have to come up with a lot of fucking money. And I hope those 4,500 people that are in your Rumble account are going to help you, because Bullhorn Betty's coming after you. And you know what? You're going to have to explain this, because it's pretty freaking egregious. You don't know me. You don't know me, and I've got no reason for you to be doing this for 4 freaking years. And you're going to explain now, I can only go back 2 years, but I'm going back 2 years, boo-boo. And especially calling me a racist. That's a statement of fact. And you're putting all this stuff up. Okay. All right. BT, you get to you're going to be deposed by Bullhorn Betty. I bet you that's going to be the highlight of your life because you're such an obsessive bitch. But we're going to come for you. We're going to come for you. All right, guys, moving on. Summer Wells is an important character. and I don't know. I apparently there is a thumbnail for Harmony Montgomery in the Summer Wells file folder, because obviously it's debuting here on the show. But this is also a reminder of why we're here, okay? Harmony Montgomery was a little beautiful girl that you see in the middle that was forced to her father, which was a felon, and he ended up murdering her. He is now in jail, serving a life sentence. Her stepmother, which should be in jail serving a life sentence, is not. James Higdon, the man that did this Cornbread Mafia book and spoke about it. Cornbread Mafia was referred to by Candace Bly on the Dr. Phil show. Well, I had an opportunity to interview Jim Higdon, and we're going to play that interview. We played it here once before when I interviewed him, but it was a really good interview in my opinion. I really did enjoy that particular interview. Oh, thank you, Sonia. We got peppermint mocha lattes. Get you a peppermint. No, oh, thank you. I will go over. I'm out of the low-cal peppermint mocha here in the house, but I will definitely, since I'm a cheap bee and you just paid for it, I'm going to go over to Starbucks and get me one. It's been a while since I had a Starbucks peppermint mocha. And you guys know I should probably do that on that. I haven't had one of those in over a year. And the last time I had that, I had a foodgasm, right? Right here on the Bullhorn Betty show. It took my breath away. I was embarrassed. I am not lying. You guys remember that. I know you guys remember that. It was bad. I mean, it was so stinking good. I'm like, oh, thank you. Where's my phone? Thank you, Lisa. I didn't see it. It hasn't come. I don't have my phone yet, but I will get it. Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bless you. I was embarrassed. I'm not going to lie, because I didn't expect it to hit, but it just, oh my gosh, it was so good. I remember that. But anyways, so let's get started on, the Summer Wells case, kind of give you guys a little refresher. So as many of you guys know, if you've been here for a while, I have to assume a lot of people in the true crime genre now that we have that are kind of, hooked in. I really do believe you guys came to this platform, either Gabby Petito or Summer Wells. Those were kind of the big, inspiring cases that true crime really infiltrated and started taking ownership of trying to help and uncover truths about missing children. And Summer Wells vanished from her home on Ben Hill Road in a rural Beach Creek area of Rogersville. And this is inside Hawkins County, which is part of the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office jurisdiction. And on the evening of June 15th, 2021, Summer was 5 years old. She ended up disappearing later that afternoon. And it took her parents, I want to say, almost 2 hours to call her in as missing. They stated that she went missing at 4:30, if I'm not mistaken. It was around 4 or 4:30 that they actually told law enforcement that she went missing, yet they didn't report her or call her in as missing until 6:30, some 2 hours later. The disappearance triggered a statewide Amber Alert and a massive, probably the largest manhunt or child search in the Hawkins County history. It was massive, and it involved multiple agencies, including TBI. Over time, more than 70 agencies across the state reportedly assisted or offered support. Despite those efforts, ground crews, aerial searches, canine teams, divers in ponds, repeated property and vehicle sweeps, no conclusive evidence has ever been found, or should I say has ever been acknowledged by law enforcement to determine whatever happened to Summer. Investigators say they still don't know whether she was abducted or if she wandered off because and became lost in the rugged terrain. Now, we have all seen the photos of this area. The photos of this area it shows very dense foliage, okay? Very dense foliage, kind of like what you see back here, even though this is not her house. This is just a random background, because I did this years ago, but I remember this is just a random Tennessee background. Now, this right here is the actual water hole that Summer was at. And as you can see, and this is in Sullivan County, okay? So this is Kingsport, Tennessee area here. Now, you can see how much dense foliage is here at the water hole. Now, you can see down here, all of these, where am I going here? You can see down here, all of these sticks, right? You could see all of those sticks. I don't know how to stop it because I've lost a lot of my, ability to pause some of these things. Hold on here. Let me see if I can get this. It's not allowing me to go down on this one for some reason. There we go. So there's Summers Wells carousel. Can I put this? Okay, let me pause this and I can go back now that I'm on it. There we go. So these sticks and stuff, this is where she was swimming. The day that she disappeared, where they believed, did somebody just, oh, I missed somebody. Somebody must have gifted something. I keep hearing these dings. Thank goodness I hear the dings now. But I hear the dings. Let me go up and see what I missed. Oh, good gracious. What did I miss? Oh, Sonia, thank you. Sonia gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership, 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships, No Clue, Utter Chaos, Jenny, SRK, 5-star. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club. I.e. the Insanity Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard, ladies. Welcome aboard. YouTuber, it's nice to see you. Marion, it's nice to see you. Faye, who else do we have? Sonia, all of our beautiful people up in the house. We're going to take a backtrack because I'm going to take you guys on a different tour before we dive into this case, but I am going to take you on a background. So they're wondering if she wandered off. I don't know about it, but anyways, in August of 2025, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations released a new age-progressed image showing Summer, what Summer might look like now that she's 9. She should be 9 years old. Hard to believe she was 5, and now she would be 9. The image was created by a forensic artist at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Investigators hope the updated likeliness, along with ongoing publicity, might trigger a new tip. And unfortunately, I don't believe Summer's alive for these age-progressive photos to really benefit anybody. I think if anybody does see anything, it's going to be a doppelganger. But, we're always going to leave hope out there. But as far as the abduction, I've ran through my mind over and over and over again the possibility of an abduction on that tall mountain. At the end of the day, it is a mountain, okay? And there's you can't even get a 4-cylinder vehicle up their driveway. It will roll backwards. That's how steep that mountain is. That's how steep their driveway is. I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up and try to say that this child could have been abducted. I don't see any, zero possibility, not even a 0.0001% possibility of her being abducted. I literally see zero possibility of her being abducted, zero. There's no possibility. I don't care if law enforcement wants to cover their butts and say, oh, well, it's just 0.01111 or 0.00001% chance, very low, but there is a possibility. No, I don't even believe that. I really don't. Hey, Rhode Island, it's nice to see you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in. If you are in the portrait mode, your mobile mode, enjoy, but you're probably going to have a little more advertisements on that. I personally like people being over here on the horizontal mode, but, we do it because you guys rule the roost, right? And it's not always about Betty. It's not always about Betty. Every now and again, I got to think of you guys. I'm just joking. We love our audience. We love our audience. Guys, show some love. Say hi to the people next to you. Say hi to the people next to you. Say, hey. Hi, Miss Lisa. Hi, Miss Sonia. Hi, Faye. Guys, don't come in here and act like strangers. These people are part of your family. They're part of your true crime family. Say hi. Get to know one another, damn it. It's an order. It's an order. Uh-oh, I hit a button. I didn't mean to hit that button. I meant to hit that button. Brenda Sue, I said your name, and I don't know if you're Brenda B or not, the one that sends me the coffee, but I might have given you credit for I'm telling you, I did not I remember at 7:30 yesterday morning when I was making the second pot of coffee, I swear, I told myself, I'm like, nothing good is going to come of today. I remember saying that to myself when I was starting the second pot of espresso cup. This is espresso, folks, okay? This whole pot, okay? Do you guys see how black that is? That is a whole pot of espresso coffee right there, okay? I drank 1.5 pots of that yesterday. My mommy came over, and I'm like, Mommy, you'll never... I wasn't quite like that, but it was... I I remember I even told my mom, I said, poor Delilah, because it's been a long time since I've gone through a whole entire pot of coffee. Okay. It's been years. Like whenever we first started out when we were doing Summer Wells, I was drinking 2 pots of coffee. We were having 8-hour lives and we went through 2 pots of coffee right here on live every single day. Our show did not end until I was done with my second pot of coffee. That is the way our show started. If you guys were with me from way back then, I think B. Betty remembers. But that's the way it was. I would literally go through 2 pots of coffee before we end the show. Do we need to do an intervention? I don't know. We'll see how today goes. But I'm not, like yesterday morning, I started drinking coffee at I think I saw my post, about what was going on at 5 o'clock in the morning. And, I'm frustrated. I'm just drinking and typing and you know me. Do you want to know how my day is? Okay, well, let me tell you how my day was. Have a great day. I might have kicked the microphone off. I'm not sure. So if you guys want to know how my day was yesterday, and you guys want to know why it took me all day to finally come back, it's because I was on a roll. I sure was. I was definitely on the roll. Is it safe? Is it safe to come out? Is it safe? I just want to remind everybody. I just want to remind everybody. Even the hate channels. Even the hate channels. So yesterday was a very, very, very busy day, and you guys know I was spitting mad. So the whole entire world, even though I wasn't on YouTube, damn well Manatee County was on fire yesterday. Yes, sir, it was. Yes, it was. We had to get it. We had to get it in order around here. I'm just saying. So my poor sheriff probably fielded a lot of calls he didn't need to field yesterday, but again, sometimes it just has to play out in order to deal with whatever we need to deal with. So let me finish up going over the Summer Wells case. Let's dive into it. We got a lot to go over this morning, and I still got a half a pot of espressos. While we're not going to do a full pot of espresso, 2 full pots before we end the show is over when Betty's out of her pot of coffee, okay? I'm just letting you know that. If you don't like it, too bad, okay? That's how we roll over here. I'm just saying. And on November 13th, law enforcement followed up on a tip that led them back to the 3500 block of Van Hill Road in Greenville. Now, guys, you guys got to understand, Fred Hill owns this property, or his family owns this property, okay? Fred Hill has been a part of this for a long time. And never forget that Don Wells, one of the first things he tried to do is put Summer Wells on Fred Hill. One of the first things Don Wells did was try to put this on Fred Hill, to the point Fred Hill told him, if you have my name in your mouth one time, I'm going to go boom, 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 okay? We going to get this thing all situated right quick. Keep my name out your mouth. That's what Fred Hill told, and I know that. I was there during this time. That's what Fred Hill told Don Wells. And I find it awfully suspect. Espresso sipping. I don't know what you're talking about. What? What do you mean? I'm sipping it. I'm sipping it, Lisa. I'm sipping. You're watching me sipping. Do we have just like I could use the feeder line. I'll do the feeder line if you think it's a little bit better. I'm sipping. Watch. 1 sip, 2 sip, 3 sip. She's a coffee machine. Instead of I'm a love machine, I'm a coffee machine. Woohoo! Where's the one? I know we got the one. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Boom, boom, boom. I don't have it. I know I've got to have it. That's the taco alert. I'm gonna be called racist because it says taco alert. I didn't lie, okay? I think
Bruh.
Oh.
Bruh.
Hey.
Bruh.
How you doing? All right, we're done pushing buttons. Okay, let's get back. So something did happen, but Fred Hill, he was accused of doing something with Summer, and I find it awfully funny because, again, Don Wells does not get off work or come home at 6:30 at night. He just doesn't do it. Never. He either is home by 4 or he goes out and does his job. Like, he'll skip work because he's too busy, doing this stuff, and he knows he's got to get a job done. So after he gets tatered up, he goes into work in the middle of the night and does his work and then goes home and sleeps all day. Okay, it's Taco Tuesday. I didn't even think about that. Taco alert. Oh, here it is. That's like mine. Okay. I believe somebody did speak to, I do believe somebody did speak to Fred Hill. If I remember, I heard somebody talk about it and say, his family, and in all fairness, and I'm not sticking up for, I don't know Fred Hill. I spoke to Ziggy, in this era a few times. I really didn't know Ziggy. I don't know Ziggy personally. I know people have been mean to her and stuff like that. I'm not going to. I know she was associated with, the crazy lady that I actually went out here to this whole thing with. I know she was really good friends with her at that time, or whatever the case may be, because that's how I knew who she was. But at the end of the day, I don't know who she is. I've got no qualm with her. I got nothing bad to say about her or anything like that. And I really don't have anything to say bad about Fred Hill. I mean, it's a little funny that they had a union, especially seeing how she was out there investigating the Summer Wells case. And he did this whole box of chicken bones things and really, pulled her leg to the point she called law enforcement and had them come out there and everything. Like, Fred Hill messed with this lady, okay? And just to see them, kind of married. I'm sorry. It's just I don't know about you, but I just think it's a little bit comical. I'm not trying to make fun of the lady. I just think it's funny. But anyways, I got nothing to say about Fred Hill. I don't know the guy. I know he was on a lot of substances. I know he was doing a lot of bad things out there at that property on Ben Hill Road around the corner from Summer's house. I know he was the go-to guy for anything bad, okay? We know that he had a lot of vehicles on that property, and we know that he was towing some vehicles off that property. I'm just saying, that's all. And so, we wondered, I've always wondered, did he unintentionally take Summer off the property, because what if Candace had gone down there and stuffed her daughter somewhere? Because, or Dawn for that matter. How about if he moved a vehicle and didn't know he was moving Summer? And when he realized, whatever, those were some of the thoughts, some of the theories that I had earlier on in the case, with Fred Hill, because I didn't get a chance to meet him. And quite frankly, I never went and knocked his door. Everything I heard, he scared me. Now that I see him and I realize, I should have went and knocked the door. I mean, I knocked the door on whatever Milo's house, whatever his name was, up in, Moab, Utah. This man was literally, somebody told us that they watched him take somebody's life. I mean, I'm going up and knock on his door, asking if he, unalived 2 girls. A man that's already unalived someone, So if I can do that, why didn't I go up and talk to Fred Hill? I don't know. I really don't. Our whole entire team didn't talk to Fred Hill. We didn't interview. He was one of the interviews that we never got. We never got Fred Hill. We got a lot of other interviews, just not Fred Hill. Sorry, guys, my allergies are kicking up. I think it's my office. I think my office needs a thorough cleaning. There's so much papers and boxes. Things just move here, and it's just too much to try to, constantly clean. There's just no way. I used to be able to sleep right after coffee when I was younger. Now I'm sick. Dark poop keeps me awake. Yeah, I get it. I went to sleep just fine. Even with all the coffee and the espresso that I had yesterday, I went to sleep literally just fine. So I'm still there, I'm still wondering what happened, but now that this is on, I'm keep playing the tape through, because now that we know that this is on another Hill property, and, Don Wells was screaming Fred Hill early on, one of the first names out of his mouth, this kind of plays into, did Don take this child over there? Did he know what he's doing? Did he try to lean in on law enforcement to look into Fred Hill so they could find Summer on their property, so they could point the finger at Fred Hill? I keep wondering, stuff like that, because, I don't trust Don. Don Wells and I aren't, trustworthy people. Why is that? I moved my, sorry guys, I don't know, I just moved. Damn it. I just moved our thing, and it just adjusted this and dropped this down. Hold on a second. My live chat I just moved my live chat by accident, and it adjusted my live chat on the feed. But I just feel like there's something here, and Don and Candace went radio silent with this news. You would think that they would be, you would think that they would have went to the media and said something like, we know she's around here. We've always thought, one of our neighbors were responsible for it. Maybe this is hopefully, going to shed some light and clear our name. I would have hoped to have throwing shade on Fred Hill. Yeah, he was throwing shade on Fred Hill very early on in the investigation too. Him and Dudley. But for them to say that this is just drama, and that was their message. That was their message to the world, is that they're not going to respond because this is just drama. You've got frickin' TBI, the FBI in Hawkins County, searching a property, and you think it's just drama to stir up more drama. It was just, it fell short. It's just been, it's been a constant red flag with the Wells since the beginning of this case. I mean, we know Don wasn't coming home at 6:30 at night, yet this particular night he was in his wife's car. I can guarantee he was not in his wife's car. He was in his wife's car, I believe, on the 14th, but not the 15th. Yet he was at the bottom of the mountain on the 15th around 6:30, pulling up, racing around the corner, pulling up, throwing the car in park, getting out, seeing his boys on the side of the road, getting out, screaming, "Where's Summer? I know they took her." And then earlier that day, he's sitting there. Now, mind you, the boys are allegedly home all day, which we know is not true. They were with their father. But allegedly, he didn't go home at all, but somehow kids that don't even have a phone managed to call Don to tell him that there's, a person around the house touching boys. It wasn't sending a text message, it was sending a call. And just so happens that, Don called his wife that day, so they just threw that in as, oh, that's what we were talking about, is about this person, coming around here and touching the kids. Okay. Hey, Brown Eye Girls, nice to see you. Phil, hello, my love. I hope you're doing well. So, anyways, let's keep going through this, because I've got stuff to show you. I got some videos that we've been and I get lost because we have so much to go over here. And again, I'm not with the whole age-released photograph because I don't believe she's alive. Recent tips follow-up show that leads continue to come in, and so that's still good. I'm glad to hear that we still are constantly having some leads coming in on the Summer Wells case, and that law enforcement is still willing to check them out even years later. The ongoing investigative energy suggests the case remains open and is not cold. Something happened in this case, folks. I don't know what it is, but in my heart of hearts, I truly believe there was a change in this case. I do. I believe that there was a change in this case. I believe some type of information, maybe a nugget of information, filled a huge void, because for us to hear law enforcement being energetic about the case in coming to the public and saying, guys, this case is far from being cold, those are some big words to use in a case like Summer Wells. That this case is far from cold.
I understand. It's a very sensitive and challenging case due to the circumstances surrounding her disappearance.
What the Oh my gosh, did you guys hear that? That was the weirdest thing I have ever heard. Something all of a sudden, just noise started coming through my phone, and I don't know why. This is a little crazy. Did we have a gremlin? Hopefully you guys heard that, and it wasn't just me. His sister came out abusive first time because she feared Summer, who, yeah, that's it too, Tammy. I remember that. Yes, you are exactly right. Oh, I think it's because I was hitting this. Okay, I know what it was. Apparently I closed the buttons. There we go. My phones with the buttons is so close to this arm right here that I accidentally hit stuff, and then I start hearing things come out, and it's from the phone being hooked up. So I'm very excited about this. For the case like this, rural area, different terrain, limited forensic clues, time doesn't necessarily dry up even possibility. Necessarily dry up every possibility. Someone still might come forward, because you got to understand, people out here are constantly getting in trouble, and somebody might have some information and they don't need to make a deal right now. You know what I'm saying? And they will. Oh, she's doing good. And so we're waiting for somebody to get in a lot of trouble and needs to make a deal. I was hoping it would be Hunter, to be honest with you. The recent trip, the recent follow-up, the ongoing investigation by TBI, local law enforcement stress that despite time and difficulty, the case is open and alive. This is huge. The uncertainty. There is still no evidence, no definitive timeline, no public key suspects, and no confirmed outcome. Unknown and other unanswered questions remain. This makes this tragically unresolved, and true crime often connect with rare uncertainty in this case. We are calling to action because we want people to see her face. We want people to know who Summer Wells is. We want people to reach out to 1-800-TBI-FIND if they have some information. Do you know Don Wells? Do you know this case? Have you ever seen Summer? Are you in trouble? Do you need help? And if so, do you have information? Use that information to get yourself out of the trouble. We need information on this case. We need somebody to come forward that's going to break this case wide open. But guys, I think somebody has. That's the thing that I'm trying to get to you guys, is for law enforcement to just one day wake up and say, this case is far from cold. I want you guys to think about that. They said this case is far from cold. Far from cold. We had a very, very, very cold case. Okay, Summer Wells, we all know. I mean, many of us, in all fairness, let's be honest, right? It's not. It doesn't mean that it makes us look good or any. But we gave up hope. Okay, I know for me personally, one of the reasons why we're on here is because we have to talk about reality. And reality, we can't lie about reality, right? Because who's that benefiting? Who is that benefiting? Who is me misrepresenting the truth? Who is that truly benefiting? I don't see where anybody's being benefited from mistruths. I gave up hope that Summer Wells would ever be solved. I personally gave up hope that we will ever see the day where there will be true justice for this child. Okay? Much like I give up a lot of hope on Sebastian Rogers. I have given up a lot of hope on that case. You guys know it. Because you guys know I'm a bulldog. And if I still feel that there's something to fight for, I'd be there fighting for it every single day. You guys watched me walk away from this case when people were still, Justin for All was still running cases, but I refused to keep circling around and going over the same information over and over and over again. We knew what the information was. We went through here. We already gave our conclusion, just like I did with Sebastian Rogers. There's nothing more that we can do or bring information to it, because at the end of the day, for for Sebastian Rogers, Sumner County doesn't give a shit. If we can't even get their own law enforcement to give a shit, we're screwed. There's nothing that we're going to be able to do to help the situation, period. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And Hawkins County was a little different. Hawkins County law enforcement was willing to meet with us. Law enforcement was willing to talk to us. Law enforcement was willing to take any interviews that we gave them to review them. And we gave them a lot. We sent them over a lot of stuff to review. But they at least showed that they were willing to do whatever they needed to do just to try to help or solve, or if they could get a nugget of information for the case, they were willing to do. Much different than Sumner County. This was Hawkins County, which you guys know. Ronnie Lawson, I believe, is corrupted, because we saw what happened to his son. We saw how his son was able to get out of a lot of trouble that he should still be in jail for. He should be in jail for the next 20 years, the sheriff's son. And the sheriff's son only gets, it's corrupted. He used his position, his power, to get his son out of trouble. I think that's disgusting. He should have lost his job for that. And the people of that community should have made sure that happened. But I digress. That's not my community. I can only counsel people. I can't vote for them. I can't make them change who they are. I can't make them do things differently. I can't do that. All I can do is try to come here, pray to God that I got somebody from Hawkins County here, and those people can be the voice of that community and go out and start spreading that message that we need to get rid of, the sheriff. But it's, I can't do that by myself. It was a very unfortunate situation. But here we are. We're here with the Summer Wells case. She's still been missing. But before we get into this one, we've also been looking at a coach from Virginia, a coach from Union High School. And I have been teetering back and forth whether this coach is alive. We heard from his wife that he ran off into the Appalachian forestry behind his home in Virginia with a rifle. Now, nobody's reported hearing any type of rifling firing or any type of, shots fired out there in the woods or anything like that. However, nobody has seen this coach. Nobody. Not hide nor hair. And he would not be able to get himself disguised this quickly to roam around, amongst people without help. And I feel like if he had help, there would be a paper trail, there would be a data trail. And I think the FBI would be able to get a hold of that data trail. And it sounds like the FBI is involved in this case. His name is Travis Turner. We ran a story. We didn't take a deep dive into this case, but we did run a story about him. And I just want to provide a little update on this particular case, because I think that this guy here might be onto something, because I too have the same I'm starting to feel the same way. I'm not quite, that is a good, plausible theory. I'm not completely he's out there deceased just yet. With Travis Decker, it was almost instantly that I was convinced that he was out there deceased. I'm not there yet with Travis Turner, okay? But it is a theory that I'm strongly leaning to, okay? And I'm strongly leaning to this theory that he might have self-harmed because he was so well known, so well liked. His mental capacity on dealing with something like this in the public eye is enough to make somebody that likes to do things in the dark very uncomfortable being exposed. And that's what happened to Travis Turner. He left with a firearm. So the firearm was either to protect himself or unalive himself. And since law enforcement, I haven't heard any law enforcement being shot at. I have to assume that he may have. I think so, Lisa. I'm starting to lean. The reason why I'm starting to lean that, I started breaking my silence yesterday on TikTok about my feelings about this case because nobody's seen him. If we had a sighting of him or a spot, hey, Chrissy, it's nice to see you, love. Jekyll and Hyde, it's nice to see you. Dixie, good morning, guys. Vicky, it's nice to see you. Don't forget to say hi to the people in chat. Merry Christmas to you, love bug. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family's doing well. Nice to see you. 5-star, I don't know if I said hi to you, but good morning. So I'm kind of iffy, but it is a theory that I'm really starting to strongly gravitate to, but I haven't seen anything yet that, this is. I kind of knew we're Travis Decker because of the situation. It was because of Whitney coming forward. We don't have Travis's wife coming forward and talking to the public to give us a little insight on his history. His history. I need to start breathing a little better on here. That's what's causing the hiccups. I talk and I talk and I talk. Hey, Sarah, it's been a while. Rehab, jail, maybe. Good morning to all coming in. Thank you. So, we're just going to, I guess, be a little perplexed on this case until we get something in. But I think the fact that he hasn't been seen, that nobody's calling in sightings of him, I really think this is getting to the point where he's, he may have, and we've seen this before. I mean, you gotta kind of it's hard to put yourself in somebody, but just close your eyes a little bit and think of yourself and how anxious and how much anxiety knowing that charges coming for you are about to be here, knowing that you did these things, knowing that it's only a matter of time before somebody finds out because they have already spoke to him. This was not like he must have known they were coming to his house to speak to him again, and he must have thought that they might have had a warrant right then and there, and that's why he took off. But little did we know they were just doing a follow-up call. They didn't have a warrant for him, and since him fleeing, they now have a warrant. They had him missing for a while, for like 24 hours. They reported this coach missing, and I watched that missing person. And I'm like, we were dealing with a child case. I think it was the Buzzard case. Or maybe something else. Maybe it was Jack and Lily or Summer Wells. I can't remember what I was, what case I was covering at that time when he was just reported missing. But I chose not to run the story just yet because I wanted to dive in and find out a little bit more about this coach. Because we had somebody here in Manatee County missing, and he ended up he was going out to the woods. I don't think it was a self-harm. I think he went out to the woods to do something, maybe hunt or something like that, and he had a heart attack. And, we ended up here in Manatee County, found him in the woods, and he was a missing person here. Nothing similar to this, but at the beginning, we just had a missing teacher. And so I thought maybe it was something like that, being where they lived in Virginia. I thought maybe he had wandered out, had a heart attack, something like that, and they were going to find him. So I was just waiting before we dived into the case just to get a little more information. And then literally in 24 to 48 hours, it was no longer a missing person. It was basically he's being investigated for CSAM. And I'm like, oh. So then I started thinking, okay, now we got a teacher on the run. This is kind of, getting a little hotter. My audience might like this. So I bring the story here. You guys, but there wasn't really a whole lot to tell. And then, of course, then I started doing some due diligence, found out he had a daughter. And I'm like, oh, this is not good, because I never told you this story. I never told you guys this story, and I can't remember what the guy's name was now. I'll have to think about it. I have to really think about it. I worked for a law firm, and we had a guy that we hired that had lost his license, which is not uncommon. Sometimes you have a situation, where, like, one of my friends lost her law license because her and her ex got into a fight, and she used her credentials to pull reports on him that she wasn't authorized to do without being hired as an attorney, right? And so he filed a complaint against her license. She lost her license. I think she got hit, for like 2 years. So she ended up having to be a paralegal and then work to get her license. And she had to take the bar all over again. Like, it's when you lose your license, your bar license, it's not a fun process, but it happens all the time. And people have to, get another teacher gone wild. Yeah, it sounds just like that, Blacklisted. Honestly, it does. It does. But at the end of the day, this guy came in, and I kept, there was just something about him. Like, even when, like, he always closed his door in his office, and then he had his partition up, so you really couldn't see him. So I'd always knock on the door. I always felt, what I thought? I felt like he was jacking off at work. And there was just something, because I don't know what it is, but I trust my senses. Okay, something told me something, because I rolled into work early. Okay, I love getting there early. I love getting a portion of my work before the day started. I always got to my law firm's office before the day. I would get there around 5:30, 6:30, somewhere around there, and work until we opened at 8. I got a lot of crap done, and I would leave a little early. I'd take a little bit of longer lunch. It worked out for me, but you guys know I'm a morning person and stuff like that. Long story short, I came in one day. Okay, this was after me and my ex-husband got in a fight. We had some cops called. There was one of those types of issues, and he was dropping me off at work, and there was a whole bunch of cops there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are they here for me? No, I'm just joking. But you pull up to an office and you see a bunch of cops swarming your office. You're like, what in the hell is going on? So you're kind of, I'm, at this time, I'm still in my 20s, early 30s at this time when I'm working. I think it was like 10 years ago, maybe 2014, 15, something like that, when I was working there. And come to find, I go upstairs, and they're in this guy's office, and they're getting his computers out. And I'm like, this is our whole entire office was swarmed with FBI. And it was that guy that lost his license, that he was one of our paralegals. He was a really good, he acted like an attorney. I don't know what. And come to find out, he was watching CSAM in our office. They took our entire computer system. And this was my first experience with that. And when he was arrested, he acknowledged that even when this is where I'm going full circle. During this, he talked about his own child and how he knew he had a problem even years ago with his own daughter. And I'm not going to go into, and one of the reasons why I'm not really telling you guys his name is because this is local here. This is somebody here that this happened to. This is somebody's father here, and this young lady found out through this investigation that she was, inappropriate by her own, and that had to have been very, very, very difficult for her to understand, learn. So when I heard that this guy also had a daughter, all of that stuff kind of, came back to me, where my own experience dealing with this guy at my own job, doing this, and the investigation and what we learned, because they wouldn't tell us anything. Like, we were like, the whole office, every day was signing into, because we're a law firm. So we're signing into the court records, trying to pull the docket, trying to see we didn't know anything. We didn't know anything. Now, when our boss was there, when Rod got there, he talked to the feds. And of course he had, after the feds left and everything, he brought, we had like 100 employees, and he brought everybody into the bullpen, and he kind of explained what was going on. And that's when we learned, and he didn't give us a whole lot of detail, but you got a whole office full of paralegals and legal assistants. Okay. I'm sorry. We going to look under the hood. We wanted to know what happened. And that's what that's what happened. He ended up, I can't remember how much time he got in jail. I think he got 20 or 25 years. I think that was the most we could give back in that time for what he did. But I don't think he'll ever be out of jail again. I think he's going to end up dying in jail. And that happened in Sarasota County. Yeah, that happened in Sarasota County at my office while I was working there. And so when I looked into this guy's past and I realized he had a daughter, my heart broke, because, people just don't, like I found out with this guy with my work, people just don't, start looking at this stuff. This is stuff that they've been obsessed with, from my understanding, for a while, and this kind of goes right into Summer Wells, because in part, some people believe her father was doing inappropriate things with her, and with his own sisters coming forward and talking about how inappropriate he was with them, it kind of really blended with the narrative, because nobody knew what happened to Summer. And we know that the Department of Children and Family Services were over at their house literally less than 24 hours before she disappeared. That's a jagged pill to swallow. But let's listen to what this guy has to say. I think did he just jump right in? No, he didn't. Okay, here.
Now, we know that he actually went into the woods on November 20th, man. The police were on their way to interview him. He wasn't charged with any crimes, but we know that the police definitely suspected him of being up to no good with kids. And then that news got confirmed. He knew that he was in big trouble with the law. This is why he ran. Now, at first, we didn't know.
I truly believe that is. I think he knew that they were. I'd have to think that, it kind of went something like this, Now, I'm not saying verbatim. I'm just giving you guys what my opinion of what happened is, based on everything I know about law enforcement. Like I told you, these things don't just come out of nowhere and you don't know nothing. Typically, when you have a case of CSAM or something else, law enforcement, they don't necessarily, unless they have a lot of information, they don't necessarily think that you're responsible or that you're the one doing it, especially if you have a household with other people in it. They need to investigate. They need to find out who in the world is doing this, and is this a computer? So they're going to want to know things like, what phone do you use? Do you use this computer? Do you use that computer? I know we got snow. I got to put this on my list, because I forgot to pull the snow photos again. Let me put snow photos on my list, because when we're done here, don't let me close out this show without me going through the emails and getting those snow photos. They're beautiful. I got to see some beautiful photos, and I want to share them with all of you before we close out the show today, okay? I love snow. I don't like living in snow. I don't like shoveling snow, okay? But I am a snow lover. I think snow is so beautiful. I think being out in snow is so beautiful. I remember it was, that's a memory that I wish I never had. But I remember being out in Moab, and I remember not seeing snow for like 20 years, and it just snowed. And I just remember being out there and just putting my hands out and just sticking my tongue out. And it's like, it's snowing. Oh my, like I was just, I don't know how to express it. I was just in a different world. I love snow. snow cream until it became, yeah. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Snow is so clean, beautiful, in my opinion. It is. It is. And so I just remember that it was just, I love snow. I just think it's gorgeous. I think it's gorgeous. I wish that we could have like snow in Florida. Just, 1 or 2 days a year. I just wish we could have, the 3 inches of snow on everything. I wish. Maybe when I go up to Tallahassee, maybe one time while I'm in Tallahassee, it might snow for me, right? Because you guys know that is going to be eventually where I'm moving to. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I was telling them, I said, my usefulness around here, like all my issues are so much bigger than county issues. I mean, let's be honest with you. I deal with the county stuff because this is my county. I want things rolling good, but my issues are U.S. issues. Okay, they're not even state issues. I need to be in D.C. So it's a stepping stone. So we're here. We're going to be moving up to Tallahassee at some point in our future. I think I might start, the 2028 goal. I might decide that Tallahassee is the best place for us, because I need to be where I can govern the state a little better. I truly do believe Byron Donalds is going to be our next governor, and I've got a good working relationship. Had a good working relationship with him and his wife, and a good working relationship with the people that surround him. So I think it'll be a positive thing for the state of Florida. But I think I really do. I think that's where I'm going to be moving to next. And then I'm going to be, eventually in the next 10 years from that. So probably by 38, 2038, I'm hoping to have an apartment in DC. So that's kind of my long-term goals politically. I don't know where that's going to leave our true crime, but I know the more that I start taking on politically, the more I'm going to have to reduce on the true crime. But again, that's going to be in 10 years from now. And, it's going to be good for me to have some balance, some political balance in my life, again. So we'll play it by ear, and we'll stay on true crime as long as we can stay on true crime. Oh, Mr. Eve, Middle E is having his MRI right now. Oh, we're going to pray. Guys, let's just take a few moments before we get into the gunky funky. And for those that pray in our chat, we have 228 people here. Let's just take just a few moments for Middle E. You guys know he's fighting for his life right now, and we want to give him as much goodness as we can to keep his spirits up, and let him know that there's a whole entire family he has never met, just sitting back here rooting for him. Rooting very, very hard for him. So let's just take a few moments. Let me take this off the screen real quick. And let's just take a few moments and have some quiet time. 30 seconds just to pray for Middle E and the E family. The shadow is missing in Jesus' name. The shadow is missing in Jesus' name. The shadow is missing in Jesus' name. We have a clear MRI in Jesus' name. All right, guys. Thank you for your dedication. For those that wanted to participate, we respect everybody's rights here. I am a Christian. This is a Christian channel, but you don't have to be a Christian to want to do the right thing. So for those, if you're just spiritual, put that out to your spiritual being, put that out to the universe, put it out to, the good karma, because nobody deserves good news more than the E's do. I mean, we all do. We all deserved good news, but they, this is their child. I can't imagine, and we love them. I would do anything just to reach in there and take this problem away from them. So the only way we can do that is pray. Prayer moves mountains. And so we definitely got your back. We definitely got your back, guys. We love you guys. We love all of you. We love the whole family. You guys are part of our family. So we're here for you. And if all we can do is pray, by God, that's what we're going to do, right? That's what we're going to do. And it sounds like that's all we can do. So we'll sit here and just do the prayer stuff. All right, guys, let's get on with this. Let's take the time to get right and hear about this, and then we're going to move on to Summer Wells. We're going to start off with Court TV. Vinnie Politan, my BFF, because we love Vinnie. We love Vinnie, yeah. I told you. Everybody like, Betty! I thought you broke up with your boy. I thought you, well, I was giving myself a little break. You know, we got in a little tissy-tiss. Okay, I told you that it probably wouldn't last that long. I'm just saying. We kind of, Vinnie partial over here.
Any of this, but we know now that, yeah, this man was a creep. And his wife apparently didn't know anything about this.
They usually
It
don't.
seems like this guy was a Jerry Sandusky, if you guys remember the Penn State coach.
Wow, yes,
Yeah,
I
so,
do.
Yeah, it's just 29th right now.
I forgot about that.
And they still have not found him. Remember, this guy was on foot.
Wow.
He was on foot. So I'm thinking, man, maybe there's a creek or something like that close by. I'm not really sure. But folks, we got some news here, man, and it pretty much, I guess, confirms that he's probably dead. Even though right now he's still a fugitive. They haven't found anything. But guess what he actually left with, folks? He left with a gun on foot. So
it's kind of giving us all of those, feelings. So what's going on with Travis Turner? We really don't know. We really don't know. Is he dead? Is he alive? We don't know. We don't know. We hope that he's alive. We hope, I don't want to see, I want to see people prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I don't want to see people going out there and hurting themselves because they don't want to deal with the consequences. And I understand the consequences kind of suck, right? Consequences kind of suck for all of us. None of us like to deal with consequences, right? But we all have to deal with consequences. We all go out there and make decisions. Some of the decisions we make are great decisions. Some of the decisions we make are not so great decisions, and we've got to live with that. We've got to live with that. I pray to God that everybody in my chat doesn't try to hurt somebody. I don't want to see you guys ever, which I know I got a lot of fighters in here. That's one of the good things. We got a lot of mama bears. We got a lot of mama bears on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Okay, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We got a lot of mama bears and papa bears in the Bullhorn Betty channel because we have literally zero tolerance for criminal behavior. I have zero tolerance. Now, you guys seen my walk. I mean, it took me a while to get here. I had a lot of problems in my younger years, a lot of self-inflicted problems in my younger years. And I know why those things happen. And I try to counsel people into why those things happen, because a lot of people don't realize why are they acting this way, because when we're young, we don't know. We just act a certain way. We don't realize we're a product of our environment. I find, and I can honestly say, a lot of our adult problems, a lot of our substance abuse, alcohol abuse, abuse, the things that we do to ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves and treat ourselves and our body, a lot of that stuff stems from a dysfunctional childhood. A lot of that stems from not dealing with childhood trauma. A lot of the things that we deal with as adults, a lot of the reasons why we are the way we are as adults is because of that childhood trauma. That childhood trauma has affected us in some way. And sometimes we never identify what it is. So I'm trying to tell you, if you're struggling with abusive relationships, if you're struggling with focus, if you're struggling with substance abuse, if you're struggling with alcohol abuse, if you're struggling with gambling or other addictive behaviors, and you don't know where it's coming from, I'm trying to help you. You need to address whatever happened to you as a child. Okay. A lot of that stuff is, and grandma bears, there we go. Grandma and grandpa bears. Yeah. And if you address some of that hole that you keep trying to fill up with all that gunk will start healing itself. Okay, I'm telling you guys what I know to be true for myself. It took a lot. I never understood why I'm this way, why I'm that way, why I do this, why I do that, why I make this decision, why I make that decision. And when you look at it, like, my teenage years, why was I so out there the way I was in my teenage years? Because I was seeking attention of my father. My father was in my life, but out of my life. We had, he drank a lot. He, at night would disappear. There was just a lot of stuff that abandonment, I felt abandoned at times by family and stuff like that at a young age. So I had to deal with all of that gunk that I didn't realize was sitting on my shoulders and causing me to want to fill this hole I didn't even know existed in my body, but it was a hole that I kept trying. If I could just put this in my body, if I could just take this pill or drink this, I will feel better. I will feel this hole. This will make me feel better. This will make me feel better. The problem is every time I woke up from that stupor or that thing, my problems would be still there or worse, right? Or worse. So, I had to fix me. And the only way we're going to fix yourself and fix me is finding out what broke me. And there was a lot of childhood trauma that had to be addressed. And I had to understand, even though I don't believe I was responsible for it, apparently my body did. And I had to shake it. I had to get that stuff and address that stuff and realize what that stuff was. And while I'm not going to tell you everything that I had to work on, I tell you guys a little bit of the surface issues, because I believe a lot of people in my chat have some of those same surface issues that they need to address. So if you're struggling, then go back to your childhood, and forgive the people around you that did wrong things to you, because you're going to have to find forgiveness in it somehow, and you're going to have to find you're going to have to quit blaming yourself for everything, especially when you were a child, so there you go. Thank God for my other favorite Betty Ford, and stay away from those that harm me. Yeah, exactly. But we all too often just fall right into that. All right, my BFF, Vinnie Politan. Ooh! Oh, let me get the... Yeah! I don't see Vinny, cutting loose like that. Can you imagine? Vinnie Politan coming out, yeah! Raise the roof! We'd all be going like, Vinny, are you feeling okay today? We need to tighten up that tie a little more there, buddy, right? I don't see him coming out like that, but we still like him anyways. He's a superstar in our heart, right? He's a superstar in our heart.
Name is Summer Wells. We've been covering this one for a while. She was last seen June 15th of this year, June 15th. Massive search efforts. Members of that community, unbelievable.
Hold on, guys.
I haven't seen a reaction like this since years ago down in Orlando, Florida. Folks are concerned. Folks want to find this little angel. But she's been missing since June 15th. Her mother, Candace Wells, spoke to WJHL. They shared the interview with us, explained what happened the moment, the day that Summer Wells was last seen and when she went missing. Listen closely.
Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone.
All right, a couple things, right? So she walks into the house, goes into the kitchen. The boys say she goes downstairs to the playroom, and then mom comes back in 2 minutes. Now, she might be estimating it. She might not be exactly right, but she comes back very quickly, and she's gone. I mean, it happened that fast, according to Candace Wells, Summer's mom.
All right, guys. So now we are going to discuss this a little further. Right? So they have a situation where she basically says she went over to her mother's trailer. So it was this little, rinky-dink camper, smaller than my bedroom, okay? Smaller than the office that I'm in right now, okay? And they are in there. She says she's helping her mother with her knee brace, that she's only gone for 2 minutes. That cannot possibly be accurate because there's no possibility of even Summer getting down to, well, I guess there is a possibility of her getting down to the basement within 2 minutes, but somebody coming up on that property, there's no way anybody can get on that property in 2 minutes. Okay, I'm letting you know there's no possible way. If there's a hater or somebody else, maybe you're not a hater, maybe you're not a troll, maybe you just don't agree with me, maybe you're just a normal person that just says, no, I disagree with this position. Please send that to me and let me know why you disagree and how you believe somebody could possibly get on that mountain. And everybody keeps talking about these dog trails. Go look at where those dog trails are and where those dog trails lead. It leads right next to Grandis's camper. There is no possibility. You're going to tell me that some dude grabs a kid from a basement and runs past mommy and grandma and nobody sees a thing? There's no possibility of that in my mind. I'm sorry, folks. There's just no possibility of that in my mind. And we have to look at that. I was in the wrong chat, Betty. Oh, Veronica, it's nice to see you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, we didn't see you over there. If you're in the portrait mode, if you see Vinnie Politan above my head instead of next to me, then you're in the portrait mode, and you guys are probably being just gobbled alive with advertisements, and you guys can't even speak. Well, Veronica, you could speak because you've been with me longer than 5 days, but I even increased that to 5 days. Like, I'm leaving it up for the people that just want to be in the bushes and don't really care about being part of the team anyways. They just want to watch. I put them on the portrait view, and the other people I like here because you guys get to see the conversation. You get to hang out with your the people that are part of the coffee club. I'd like you on the horizontal because you guys have your friends in the chat. Like you guys come here every single day. You guys almost know each other. The only thing you're waiting to do is find out what you guys look like. You're already BFFs. I mean, for everything it's holy. Guys come here and they are obviously liars. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And I mean, it doesn't, their statements don't matter because I think everybody knew that they were lying from the very beginning. Everybody knew that the Wells were lying. Okay. I'm going to tell you, we've talked, like we had a lot of even conversations that were angry conversations, right? We had angry conversations with some of the neighbors. Some of the neighbors didn't really care for us to be there. We didn't care. I don't. You guys will understand very, very quickly, and this is what pisses off the hate channels about me. And I don't care. Okay, I don't care about your opinion. I don't care whether you want me there. I don't care. The question is, do I have a right to be there? And the answer is yes. So anybody else, any of that noise, I don't care. Okay, I don't care. Call me racist, bigot, Islamophobe. Call me whatever you need to call me to justify whatever you want to say about me. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. You can try your hardest to try to hurt Bullhorn Betty's feelings. It doesn't make a difference. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And everybody's just going to have to deal with it and bitch about it and be jelly. Because, at the end of the day, they would love to be out there. Everybody would love to be out there. They just can't. And they think it's unfair. But you know what? Life's not fair. Okay? We go out there to do good work for these people. We don't sit here and try to drum up some asinine bullcrap, drama to drive views. We like the truth. A lot of people don't seem to like the truth. People try to hide the truth. They try to disguise the truth. That's what the hate channels are really good with doing, right? They find these cases, they find the biggest pieces of shit, and then they try to go up and support them and throw money at them for content. It's a disgusting practice. It's a disgusting practice. Meanwhile, they're helping all these people that hurt children, in my opinion.
So let's go back to the scene. I want to show you a photo first. This is a photo of the house. Let's take a close look at this, because when I first heard this story, and if we could drop the letters on the bottom so we get a clearer look at everything. You look at the house here, and I looked at the house, and when I first heard that she went downstairs, I was wondering, is there a door? Is it a walkout basement? But as you can see from the cinder blocks, it's not deep enough. There is no door. There are some windows on the bottom, but the back door, that's the back door. So if she goes in the front and mom is hanging out around the front or somewhere out there, and she exits the home, it would have to be through that door, because in this shot you can see it almost looks like there's doors over there on the basement, but it's not. Those are windows. So the only door is over there, which looks like the back door.
It does look like a back door, but there is another door. One goes up, one goes under, right? They have a basement door, and they have a door that goes into basically a bedroom. And then you turn and you go into like the living room kitchen that was filled with disgusting. I need to bring the Chris McDonough. I know there's been other people that wasn't that back door blocked. It was, Lisa, and that's what. And this is where Allison, Hunter's mom, comes into play here, because at the end of the day, sorry, I wanted to put that back up there for you guys. I was trying to adjust some things here. But at the end of the day, Allison, Allie, Hunter's mom, she was the one that told us that there was always a couch by that downstairs door. And I've always wondered what happened to the couch, folks. The couch is missing. There is a couch that we've known that was missing from this house for a really long time. Who's a hater? Oh, good gracious. They're all haters. We got a lot of haters. You might be a hater for all I know. I don't know. But there was this couch, and I can't remember. I honestly can't remember if we ever saw a picture of the couch. I feel like there was somebody that brought up had a picture of the couch that blocked the door. I feel like they had a photo of it. Nobody has been able to ever explain what happened to that couch, but we knew that couch blocked the basement door. Because what would happen is that they would get all, the kind of substances Dawn and Candace were on makes you paranoid, okay? So if you remember the Chris McDonough video where all the windows downstairs in the basement where they slept had a tinfoil on them, that's very, very customary to people that have substance abuse problems. When you go by houses, very seldom, and occasionally you do have a situation where somebody is blocking their window because they work at night and they have to sleep during the day and they need to block the light out. But typically those people that are working use, shades, different types of shades that block that light from seeping in out. They very rarely, people that are actually working and bringing in home money, do they tape freaking tinfoil up in their windows. Okay, usually that's for very specific type of people. Okay, where blackout curtains is what normal people would do, but this is tinfoil. And, this is what the go-to for substance abuse users is to tinfoil their windows, and it keeps people from being able to peep in their windows to see them doing. That's the most paranoid thing you can ever do. Is they really think people are trying to find them using. It's the weirdest thing in the world, but it's true. It's a true paranoia. Okay, folks, that truly is a paranoia, and I truly believe that that's what they had. That's what the paranoia was, and I think that they blocked that door out of paranoia. Because they were doing substances there. They didn't want somebody coming in and kicking their door in and robbing them, right? So, and they know they have a lot of dirty MFers on the mountain, right? So I really think that was security for them. So for them not to have that couch in front of the basement door, that was odd. That was really, really odd. And then they say that somebody came through the basement door to get her. They removed the couch. Was she in the couch when they removed it? Because there's other ways, everybody, like even us, because we're not from the area, we take Beach Creek to Ben Hill, okay? The people that have lived out there, those mountains attach. There's backwoods. Like if you keep going around from the backside of Ben Hill, it will go around to other roads that you can get on and stuff like that. We never went back that way. We didn't know that. We were unaware of that. So there's another way off that mountain than turning onto Beach Creek, from my understanding. Now, when I go back out there the next time, I'm going to drive that road all the way back until I can't drive it any further. Right? There one that goes down by Fred Hill, that dead ends. I know for a fact that dead ends because we had to turn around where we saw the private roadways going to other parts of the house, but down another way where the lady was that yelled at us that had all those cars down there when we were recording, from the trailer. Well, that road apparently goes further back. So that tells me that they didn't need to go out onto Beach Creek. And why is that important? Because the lady down there on Beach Creek and Ben Hill, the single story home, well, she has a shit ton of cameras and a shit ton of dogs. Well, about 3, not compared to the Wells. The Wells had 21 dogs. I think she has 6 dogs, or has 6 dogs at the time. And you breed, those dogs from her house are barking. So again, we have all these dogs. There's no possibility of an abductor. I mean, even with the dogs alone, not even looking at the terrain here, just the dogs alone. If somebody was here, this whole community would have known somebody was pulling up. There has not been one time that we pulled up to Don Wells' home, even down at the bottom of the mountain, down at the bottom of his driveway. I've never pulled up to the top of his driveway. I've never drove my car onto his driveway. I've only been on Ben Hill Road. I've only parked my car on Ben Hill Road. But what I can tell you is every time I've been there, everybody knows I'm there. There's no way to sneak on Ben Hill Road. You stop your car, you get out of your car. Dogs down there are barking. Dogs up there are barking. Dogs from the Don and Candace are coming down the driveway to you, barking. There is dogs barking, bark, 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 bark. It's impossible in my mind. 0% chance of an abduction. 0% chance of an abduction. Not a 0.0001%, nothing. 0% chance of abduction. In my mind, 0% chance. 0. There's none. There's not a scintilla of evidence to even support that there's a possibility of an abduction.
Let me bring in our
Yes,
special guest
it is.
joining us as we take a look
It's
at these
difficult when there's 2
pictures
cars on it.
and think about what happened here. Joseph Scott Morgan is with us, professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University, former senior investigator.
I hope. You know what? Every time I go to Jacksonville, I never stop to meet this guy. I want to stop and meet this guy. This guy is in Florida. He's pretty well known. Okay, and that's this guy right over here. That guy right there, Joe Scott Morgan, very, very well known.
For the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office and forensics media analyst. Also joining us in Chicago, Illinois, private investigator Erica Morse. Great to see you both. Joseph Scott Morgan, I'm going to start with you with the picture. Let's put that picture back up of the home. As you look at that home, if in fact she goes in there, it seems to me she'd have to exit out that back door, and within 2 minutes, she's got to be gone. Gone, not in the yard. She's got to be in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, it all depends on points of entry in this dwelling. If that is a single point of entry, and the one that the mother would suspect that she would have to exit from, you can see the large wooded area to the rear. So my thought is this, Vin. One of the things that I'm kind of toying with, was there somebody that potentially had gained access to the interior of the house that may perhaps have been lying in wait for this little girl, that had access to her, that had identified her, maybe over a protracted period of time. Maybe they were watching through the woods, just to see if they had an opportunity. And once maybe perhaps they made entrance into the house, they could have snatched her at that point, or they could have waited until she exited. I think one of the keys here is observance and collection of any kind of physical evidence within that dwelling that cannot be associated with anyone or tied back to anyone that is domiciled there. Any kind of stranger DNA that might be in there, say for instance, touch DNA that has been left behind. Of course, that would mean that the scene would have had to have been secured and that they could have tested for it at that moment in time.
Okay, so I love what he says. Okay, I do love what he says, but I disagree wholeheartedly, because many of us know the details of this situation in this case through that door. Let me go back. Let me make sure I mark my spot. So we are currently at 5:14. So I'm going to go back just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys this let me go this way. Let me get you off Lisa real quick. You see this arrow, okay? Right through this door here were 3 boys sitting on chairs watching TV. So the possibility of an abductor walking into that house here would have been an impossibility. But again, that is based upon them believing this is the only entrance. Again, there was a couch removed from the basement door entrance. This is not the basement door entrance. This is the entrance into the top of the house, okay? And we all know that by watching, Chris McDonough, The Interview Room, right? The Interview Room had this amazing interview and meeting, physical meeting with Candace Bly. And he went into this house and he entered right through this door, and it was upstairs. There's a basement that they had to crawl through. It was very hard for him to get into. It was very, very creepy where this entrance to go down to the basement was. It looked very dangerous to get down to the basement, and very, very, very small. But they got down to the basement. They crawled basically down to the basement, and there's another door in the basement, okay? And that door in the basement did not have the couch in front of it. And it was at that interview that Allie piped up and said something, "Where's the couch?" There was always a couch in front of that door. The couch is missing. That is huge in my book. Where's this couch? Nobody's ever talked about this couch. We've never heard about this couch. We've never seen this couch. This couch was never collected. But I have been told by multiple sources associated with this house that have been inside this house, that in front of that basement door, there was a couch to prevent the kids from going in or going out, and to prevent anybody from coming in. So, yeah, that basement was horrific. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. Well, you know, the shed's another story. The shed's a little weird. The shed is a little weird, and we heard that they were letting some weird guy stay there, too. Now, was this at the time? I don't know. But I know there was somebody that used to come occasionally and stay in that shed. Who was it? I'm hearing somebody dinging me. Hold on. Let's see this real quick, and then we'll move on. Thank you. Yep, that's it. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Can I pull this up on my... All right, hold on a second. Let me pull this down real quick so I can pull this up. Give me a second. Oops, I hit the wrong one. There we go. Give me a second. Let me pull up something real quick. Aww. Salty man, I saw your email too. I'm going to hopefully pull up these snow photos here in just a little bit. I got to remember not to close out the show without pulling them up because I've been wanting to show you guys. Why is that not coming to me? Hold on a second, guys. Let me do something here. Why is this thing not allowing me to send? I don't understand this. I should be able to send just about anything to my cell phone. Oh well, I just get so frustrated with all of this. Okay, let's see what we got here. It wouldn't let me send it. I send it to my email, but usually it lets me put it up right up, cast it right to my screen, but it's not letting me do it today for some reason. Wow, we must be having a little bit of lag because it's taking me forever to get anything to click. Okay, hold on. Give it a second. It's just taking forever. Everything's running a little slow, a little laggy. Okay, here we go. Let's go into that. There we go. Okay, I got it to this spot. There. Okay, I think it's right here. All right, let's put it back up. Let's put it back up. There we go. Let me put it back up. Let me take these the comments down so you guys can have a clear photo of what's going on here. And let me do the same for you guys over here on portrait mode. There you go. All right, let me take my face off here and I'm going to play this. There we go. All right.
What was it about this swing that is just so important for her?
She liked it. She just liked to swing. All the kids did.
Now, I don't want to talk about the boys right now because I know that's, you know, a tough another part of your heart, okay? Yeah. And that's none of my...
There's the door, right directly behind her. Right here is that door that they're showing you right here. You guys see that? You guys see that? Same door, different, slightly different angle. It's under the lean. You see the point? Are you guys all seeing this? Right? So you guys see this is the door right behind her. So let's go in.
My business.
Right.
I'm not here for any of it. You know what I mean? I'm not here to judge anybody, right? I'm here to talk about Summer and help you find Summer, okay? And help anybody help find her, okay? That messaging. Okay, so you go into the house.
Go in the house.
Can I follow you in, or do you comfortable with that? Huh?
I don't know what about. Let's just do the cat food.
And is this?
All right, guys, we're ready to go in. So you guys, if this is the first time, I will tell you. I don't think this is anybody's first time watching this, but if this is your first time, I will tell you, it's a little bit shocking. Okay, it's a little bit shocking for normal people to see a little girl or a family living like this. Okay, so I'm preparing you guys before we walk through.
They're going to attack me?
No.
Oh, I was just I'm teasing you. The dog's going to attack me.
All right, here we go.
So
see what goes in.
This is the scaffolding you're talking about.
Yeah, that's my. Yeah,
okay, so she comes.
So if we were going to take the forensic guy. Now, granted, the forensic guy is just speaking of if this happens, this is what we're looking for. So he's not saying that it did happen this way, okay? But we have to look at it. Let's take his theory and run with it, okay? We're not dogging this forensic guy that teaches, people in Jacksonville. We like him. But we also want to show why that theory doesn't hold water. This is why that theory doesn't hold water of some stranger just coming in, going through this door and finding Summer.
Jumps up, goes right in.
Yep.
Okay. How many cats? You know what? You should have like a zoo license. You know, I'm seeing all kinds of critters, which is good.
So you can see this is a bedroom that they're walking into. You see the bunk beds behind them. Okay, so this would be normally a bedroom that they're coming into. Where is the front door? I don't know. It sounds like they closed off the front door somehow or whatever. So they're coming into this side room and then going into the main room. So we're going to watch this.
Okay, where's Summer's bed?
Oh, it's in the basement.
Got it. Okay. So
Summer's room is in the basement. This is where she said that this is where Summer was when she was abducted. That Summer was in the basement when she was abducted. Now, I'm telling you, we're not entering into the basement right here. We're on that first floor. So let's watch this again. When this camera turns the corner, it's going to be a little overwhelming.
what happens when she comes in? The boys are playing where?
No, the boys are actually sitting here.
Okay.
So
and they're actually sitting right here at the table watching TV.
Okay, so they're at the table watching.
So they're all here around this messy table. This is cleaned up for them, just to let you know. This is a cleaned house for Candace. So all three boys are sitting right here. You cannot get to the basement except from the basement door or going through past these boys and all of this stuff in this house without making a noise to get Summer. Okay? Let's keep going.
TV. Okay.
They were all locked in. Nobody could get in. Nobody could get out.
Okay.
Nobody can get in.
Now who's
Nobody
this
can
on
get out.
up here?
That's my little sister that's missing.
Oh, that's Rose.
That's Rosie.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And if you don't know, they actually have another missing person in their case, in their family, that has never been solved and has never been found. Pretty ironic, huh? And you know who's been involved in both of those cases? Candace Harrer. She was with her daughter or around her daughter in the same community as her daughter. And her daughter disappeared. And she was also with Candace and Don when Summer disappeared. The only link between the two disappearances is Candace Harrer, Grandis. Interesting. Aw, thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Big hugs and loves back to you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Because I'm a love machine. Ow! Oh. No, we changed it. I'm a coffee machine. Ow! But the idea, you guys see why somebody sneaking in to abduct the child, this is not going to be the way that they could have done it. You guys see what I'm talking about now? There's no possibility, zero chance of an abduction, according to me.
Wow, and who's the guy?
That's her ex-husband.
Wow. Do you think he had anything to do with that?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, we don't want to go there.
I can't say.
How's your mom deal with that?
It's...
Do you see that? Oh, okay. I was going to say I thought it was a little camera, but it's they're blocking an address.
difficult.
Yeah, I know. You know I know, right? So, okay, watching TV. Where's Summer?
Summer, she was with me.
Okay, so walk me through that.
All right. Well, we walked up in here and we got Josie, Wyatt, and Waylon, the boys.
Right. You put the groceries down, right?
Yeah. Well, we went back out and then we brought the groceries in and put them down. And then Mom, she took her stuff to her house, put her stuff away.
Okay.
And then, of course...
All right. So, you guys see this little dip here? See that? Right there. See that? That's the dog trail. Okay? So, let me move this. You guys probably can't see it. I might have to adjust the camera just a little bit. Yeah, let me just adjust it. Okay. There's the entrance to the dog trail. You know how they keep saying, "Oh, they must have taken the dog trail?" This is Grandis's camper. This is the door where Grandis and Candace were that she was at for 2 minutes. that they're trying to say somebody was lying in wait, potentially took the child, and must have ran down the dog trail. So you're telling me somebody's going to break into their house, go past the boys, all the way downstairs, grab a child, go through either back upstairs or through the door of the basement, and then run directly toward the mom and the grandma, the only adults that are allegedly on the property, to go down this dog trail right here to get away. Okay? That's what they want us to believe. Again, zero possibility in my mind. Zero.
Me and someone went back over, put our stuff away.
Okay. You went back in?
Yeah, me and someone went back in the house. And then we were just doing normal stuff.
Okay.
Around the house like we normally do. And I come out, Mom was sitting there at the time I come out, and I'm standing here. Okay. I was like, what are you doing? What are you staring at? She's like, these plants, I gotta get them transplanted. I was like, well, Summer will help us, so I went back in. By that time, she was sitting on the floor playing with her toys.
Right here?
No, in the kitchen where we were just at.
Okay.
She was actually sitting on the floor playing with her toys at that time. I said, Summer, you want to help plant flowers? And she jumped up, left her toys a mess, of course. That's cool.
Yeah, well, that's what kids do. It's their job.
That's convincing language. Do you guys understand that? That's convincing language. She needed to convince you that she was on the floor and playing with the toys because she just left the toys laying on her floor. Okay? That's what I consider convincing language. Me personally.
What?
Okay.
We walked over here and we transplanted these cactuses from the little pots that they were in. And transplanted these ones here into this bigger pot and that one into that bigger pot. And she took the rocks that we've gotten from different gem mines when we went up to Gatlinburg and stuff.
Okay.
And she's the one that spreaded all the rocks around in here. And then she put her puppies in here. She wanted Chase in there, you know.
Okay.
That was cool.
Where are those puppies now?
What do you mean?
Oh, the little puppies, her ruins.
Yeah, these little.
Oh, yeah, those little guys. Oh, that's Paw Patrol.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the police one.
Yep, that's Chase. He's always on the case.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I see another one over here.
She put him in there. Yeah, you're on the cactus.
Okay. Don't take those out, okay?
No, I leave them right there.
I know.
And then we went in my mom's wood. We can't get in there.
Yeah, that's fine. Went in there.
We went in there and got some candy and stuff. She gets from grandma.
Okay.
And I said, well, I'm going to go back over to the house. She wanted to go back, so I figured I'd go back, you know.
Okay.
And I brought her, I literally walked over to here. Like literally walked.
So she says that that Summer's ready to go back to the house, and she says she's ready too, right? She's ready too. She just said I'm ready to. Summer's ready too, and then she says, "Oh," and then so I walk her back to here. So if she was ready to go home and Summer was ready to go home, why didn't they just both go back to the house? Why did they just both go back to the house? So let's keep listening.
Walked right in here where I could see the boys and on the kitchen table.
Got them.
And I watched her walk in there. And afterwards, when she was already in there, I walked over and I said, "Quiet." And he looked at me and I said, "Watch Sissy, I'll be right back." And that's when I walked back over to my mom's.
Okay.
And I was fixing her brace and stuff like that. And I said, "Well, Mom, I got to go back over with the kids." And that's when I come back up into the house.
Okay.
With the boys.
Okay.
Not that.
You walked into the house.
I walked into here. Get up. I walked in here and them three were sitting right here in the row with their eyes glued to the TV, like always. And I said, "Boys, where's your sister at?" Well, she just went downstairs, Mom, to play. So I went over here like this.
So if she dropped her child off at the house and her child went down to play, would that be her first question? I mean, I can understand her walking into the kitchen and saying, "Hey, boys, where's your sister?" "Oh, she's in her room playing." "Okay, thank you." Would you really just go and just check when you know 2 minutes ago you brought your child to the house? This whole thing, like I just want you to process yourself naturally, okay? Go back if you can to a time when you had an experience with your child, you taking your child into the house and you walking back into the kitchen. You're going to going about doing your thing because you know your child's in the house. You know that they're in their room. You're not going to go walk down when you just brought them in the house. You're not going to walk down to confirm that they're in the room when you know you just put them in the house. So this whole thing here just doesn't seem like normal activity for me, for a mom. Because this is something I wouldn't do. I've put myself in there because I know I've had experience. So I had to go back with the grandkids. When I brought the grandkids in and they were playing in the room and I walked back in several times with groceries, did I go and say, hey, where's the kids? Oh, they're in the room. They're not out backyard. Okay, great. Do you think I walked back there and said, what are you guys doing in here? No. I was told that they were in the room playing. So what did I do? I went back and just started putting the groceries away. Did I go into that room to check on them? No, I didn't. I waited until I got the groceries put away, put the sandwich on the plate, got the chips, and then I called the girls in for lunch. And they come running in. So I had to put myself in that mentality. I had to go back to that time. I had to see what was my reaction to that. Did I go down the hallway to the room to check on her? And the answer is no, I did not. Has this situation happened before? Yes, it has. Did I go down the hall and open? No, I did not. So would this be normal behavior? I don't know. I guess you guys are going to have to decide that this action, this specific action for yourself, it seems a little too far-fetched for me. I'm sorry, it just does. So let's just go back just 5 seconds.
Well, she just went downstairs, Mom, to play. So I went over here like this. So this is where the stairs are.
Okay.
It's actually down under there.
Oh, down into her bedroom.
Look how
our
creepy
bedroom
this
and
is.
then hers.
Look how creepy this is.
Oh, okay, in the basement.
Yeah, in the basement.
Well, this makes sense now, see?
And then I yelled and I said, Summer, Summer. And she didn't, I listened for a minute. I didn't.
Tell me that's, what, somebody, please. Tell me, what creep, what abductor's gonna know that there's this secret door to go down to the basement under this table that the kids are leaning against and watching TV? Okay, you guys understand that. On the other side of this right here, on the other side, 3 boys are sitting looking at this TV right here. Okay? So here's the TV, there's the boys, here's the entrance to the dungeon. And we are to believe some abductor lied in wait, snuck in past 21 dogs and 3 boys to go down here to find Summer, take off with Summer, and go to the dog trail right in front of Grandis's trailer. Pretty interesting. All right. Well, y'all, time to keep on going. Let's see how creepy this gets.
Didn't hear nothing. So I went like this, because this is how I always get down here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if you want to.
So easy.
Do I got to be tiny to get in there?
No, you should.
Can we come in from the other side?
Yeah, we can, but it make more sense if you went this way.
Okay, I'll follow you.
You can tell Chris did not want to get down there. That is some when a homicide detective, okay, when a homicide detective is a little creeped out, you can tell his hesitation. Could you not? Can we go in from the other side? Well, I guess we could. But don't you want the real effect? Sorry. I'm sorry, I got a little chuckle because, Chris McDonough being, the homicide investigator that he is, you can tell his hesitation of going into this dark this dark hole with Candace. Am I gonna fit? Well, we're talking about Candace here. I think just about anything fits. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm gonna get back to it.
Oh man.
Oh man, he says.
My 6-foot husband can fit down here. You can.
Huh?
My husband's 6 foot. I know if he can fit, you can.
This.
Guys, it's truly. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Way to go.
Oh my
This
God.
is my husband's room.
Oh.
Thank God they muted it all out. Can you imagine going down into the trailer and realizing that Don Wells has these images? There's the door. You see right here. Here's the door right here. This is the door. This is the other door. Okay? This is the door that had the couch in front of it. This is not a window. This is a door. This is the basement door. Okay? This is where Allie and her family were screaming bloody murder. You know why? Because in front of this door, there has always been a full-sized couch. Always. In front of that door. However, as you see here, there is no couch. And this is exactly what Allie said. She kept saying, where's the couch? There was a couch. There's always been a couch in front of that door.
Okay.
And over here, well, it's a mess again.
That's all right.
But this is where Summer and little Waylon was. Because Waylon's only 9.
Okay.
And they stayed down here.
Now, mind you, if you guys didn't notice, it was blurred out, and probably the reason why you didn't notice. But Don Wells was watching adult things on TV. Those were playing. So as children are walking down to this dungeon to go to bed in this dungeon, they have to walk past a TV that has adults doing adult activity on it. This, in my state, is illegal. You could be arrested for doing just that here in the state of Florida. But apparently, it's standard operating procedures in Tennessee. And again, a reason why we are fighting with Tennessee so bad. And I'm ready to work on firing literally everybody in Tennessee and starting from the top down, because we need a top-down approach in Tennessee. Tennessee is failing, and there's a lot of people that are being injured by the lack thereof of Tennessee officials to protect them.
And these are all her toys, all her Paw Patrol,
All her movies. She's got a movie about the Savior.
The boys I brought back down here after she went missing because I didn't want them upstairs by themselves anymore.
Okay. And this is all her toys.
These are all her toys. All these toys that are down here are all hers, except for.
Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that? Maybe you guys didn't. The boys didn't live downstairs with Don and Candace. Summer did. That's Summer's room. That's Summer's room. Boys didn't stay downstairs. It was Don, Candace, and Summer. The boys were made to sleep upstairs alone.
Like the trucks and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the game system. That's the boys'.
Okay.
But them are all her toys.
And she's really into Paw Patrol. I see that.
Yeah, I've been collecting from day one. And these are all her little ponies that I've bought.
Tinfoil.
And then these are them girls.
Why does a little girl need tinfoil on her windows? And if they're worried about somebody looking in, why didn't they give her cute little curtains? Tinfoil, folks. Tinfoil.
That she likes. Them new fashion, I don't know what they are, little princesses or whatever. She's like all kinds. Here's one of them bracelets.
Oh, that's just one of them what do they call these? Oh, this is little pony bracelets.
Yeah, I don't know what they were really called.
Dollar store.
But she liked them, and so I just, every time I go to the garage sale.
If you look at her room, there is no real good girl toys there. All she has is little tiny dollar store toys. She has no dolls to play with. She has no large toys to play with. She has nothing. She has little toys that are 2 inches big. That's all this little girl gets to play with. That's all this little girl gets to play with.
I'd buy her what she wanted.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm sure she did.
When I got a little bit of money, I spend it on the kids.
Yeah, this is her, I understand her.
I can promise you, if Candace has a little bit of money, it's going on booze, then substances, then if there's anything left over, maybe food, maybe the kids. Let's be honest.
Now,
yeah,
even better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is really important.
Yeah, I come down and I searched. I looked up underneath the beds under there. We can't really get on. I can't get under there.
Yeah.
But I looked under there, looked under every blanket I could possibly look under.
Yep.
And then I come over here and I looked on both sides. I didn't see her nowhere. And I don't recall if this was locked or not. I don't recall that.
Okay.
But I know it's hard on me. But I know I did come out here and I said, Summer. Because sometimes she'll sit right here.
So, again, this is when the friends of Candace started going off, right? Because, again, everybody that has been in this house, everybody that has gone over there to visit, everybody that stayed there, has always told us that there was a couch down at this door, that there was a couch blocking people from exiting or coming through that door, that basement door. So again, it comes back to, where is this infamous couch that everybody that knows the Wells have been asking about? Where did it go? They've never answered the question about this couch. Now, was it gone? But, after her and Allie had a falling out, that could possibly be the case. But again, she refuses. Nobody wants to speak about this couch. It's like this taboo conversation that we have about it. So where's the couch? I don't know.
And just sit here and play, just for, And usually when she comes out and she goes directly that way up to the swing.
Oh, okay, so this is like her.
Yeah, she
come running out.
Yeah,
oh yeah, you can see the path here.
Right to the swing.
Right, you can see where she could have run right up to
and
here.
And this is all the further she would go. She wouldn't leave.
Okay.
She wouldn't go nowhere else.
Another parent saying, my child wouldn't leave. My child wouldn't go anywhere else. Yet here we are. They're always so perplexed. This house is on the top of a mountain. Do they have creepy people that live next to them? Yes, they do. Are they creepy people themselves? Yes, they are. Does anybody in this community believe somebody else did this? No, they don't. Nobody, there's not one person I spoke to that said, you know what, we really truly do believe Fred Hill did this, right? I have not come across a neighbor or a community member that came to me and said something like that to me. But you know what I did have happen? I did have multiple people pull over and speak to me, even including one of that one in that car, that told us that they believe that they told us all about those people, right? They believe that family did something to that little girl. The other people that lived on that road, that ex-officer that came up to us and talked to us aggressively. He had a pistol on his side, but he was a nice guy. I mean, he was a little frustrated that we were out there with the bullhorns and stuff, and we understand that. So I'm not going to be mad at a neighbor for being angry at me for doing my job. I'm going to be respectful for them. They don't have any reasons to, they're a victim of these people too, because now I'm out in front of there and they're having to deal with me. So I feel bad for the neighbors when I show up. Don't think I don't. It doesn't change the fact of what I'm about to do. But, I'm sorry that this family put the community in that situation. So this guy comes up to me and he's even talking about how everybody knows that most likely the parents, that Don and Candace are probably going to be ultimately responsible for this. So it's not, they lived on that hill a long time. He could have said, look, I know these people, they may be a little wild, but they're not doing nothing to their children. However, this creep over here, this Fred Hill guy, he might be, we didn't get that from the neighbors. We got, it's most likely them. It's most likely Candace and Don. We hear them. We know what they do. We know what they are up to. We know they're bad news. This is a long time coming. We were expecting this to happen at some point. Those were the kind of conversations that we were having with their neighbors, okay? They weren't pointing the finger at other people, folks. They were pointing the fingers right there at the house. So, we have to take that into consideration, because even the people on that hill would know if Fred Hill, not that everybody's like, oh, Fred Hill's this great guy. Everybody knows Fred Hill is a piece of crap, okay? But he might be a piece of crap, but he ain't that piece of crap. You get what I'm saying? And so I really do think that because of the lifestyle he was living, I think he truly did, get a lot put on to him from the Wells family. And some people would believe it, because again, you're talking about a lot of people coming in from out of state that are either listening to the parents. They either believe the parents or they don't believe the parents. And if they believe the parents, then Fred Hill would be a suspect. Okay. We believed nobody. We didn't believe anybody. Okay. And everybody was a suspect, in our world. Right. So Fred Hill was part of that. He obviously didn't rise to my mind enough for me to go knock his door and speak to him. Would I have liked to? He was the one person I didn't speak to. Everybody else we tracked down. Everybody else we tracked down. And we spoke to. Everybody. I never spoke to Fred Hill. I even talked to another guy on that mountain, and he knows who he is. He has like a shaved head, and he's Flintstone feet. And I know that if people are on that mountain, they'll know who I'm talking about, Flintstone feet, because he is well known to never, ever, ever wear shoes. Okay. He will go out searching for Summer, which he did that day, shoeless in that very, very much, very rough terrain. He was shoeless. So he was that guy. Okay, I had an opportunity to speak to that guy. I got him on the record part. He wouldn't speak to me unless I turned my cameras off, so I turned my cameras off to get the intel. He also believes that they were there. He said, look, he goes, I was out here this day. He goes, I heard. He goes, I'm on the other side of the mountain. He goes, I could hear Candace screaming Summer's name. He's like, you know what I didn't hear? I didn't hear a child screaming back. And he's like, and if I could hear her all the way at my house, I know no matter where Summer was, she would have been able to hear her mother. And it was that moment that I realized he was 100% right. He was 100% right. When she was hollering Summer's name, Summer was already gone. Not gone in the sense of abducted, but gone. Gone. Lisa, I don't know if we've ever gotten a clear answer on that. I really don't. I don't know if we ever really got a clear answer on whether Summer was barefoot or not. But based on everything we know, I'd have to think that she kicked her, because they didn't use their feet. That's why I think it was Waylon got his foot cut up. It might have been Wyatt. I can't remember. One of the boys got their foot cut up really, really bad on a bike. And Candace refused to take him to the hospital, and his foot is going to be forever deformed slightly because of that injury. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think she had shoes on her feet, because I don't think she had shoes on her feet the entire day. I don't think I ever saw her at all that day with shoes on her feet in any photo or anything. So I would have to, if I don't know conclusively, but I would believe, my opinion is she was probably shoeless. I think she was, as a matter of fact. I don't know conclusively, but I believe she was. Okay, well, you have a great day. We're closing out anyways. We're closing out anyways, the real Me Too. I hope you're having a wonderful day. In my opinion, they put her in this shed to be sold, and she died in heat and by an accident. Well, see, that one reason why I see where you're going with this, and I see in the plausibility of this probably is plausible, in all fairness, babes. The only thing that makes me feel like this isn't accurate is only one detail, but it's a huge detail, and it's Hunter. Because Hunter never went back to this house that day. Hunter was out in Sullivan County at the water hole and, ran around with Candace and Grandis most of the day before he was brought back to his home around 2:30 in the afternoon. So, thank you. Yeah, I got to remember the snow pictures. I got that. But he's never been the same again. So in order for that theory, your theory, to make sense, then he would have had to be at this house. Because whatever happened, Hunter was never the same again, according to his mother. And I talked to his mother even a year later, and he was never the same after this day. So I because of that element, that factual information I know to be true, It makes me feel like whatever happened to Summer happened away from the home. And it happened while Hunter was with them because of those statements from his mother. And those are really the only reason why because of those statements from his mother, why I believe that something happened to, hey, Jen, it's nice to see you, love bug, happened to him. I kind of believe that's just wherever he witnessed, whatever he witnessed changed him. And yes, that's it. That's it. And because he was never observed at that house that day. Yeah, exactly. And because he wasn't at that house that day, everything he was involved in was in Sullivan County. I feel like whatever happened to her happened in Sullivan County. And the only incident that I believe was odd was how Hunter expressed the visit at the water hole. The way he explained the water hole is very, very, very concerning. And that's kind of where I'm kind of in this mixed feeling, because Don is such a creep. It's hard to believe that he would not be responsible for something like this, So because he's such a creep, this is a child, this is a female child. We know who Don Wells is. It's hard for us to not consider Don being part of this, but there is a good possibility that there is really there is negligence and a death. But there is a good possibility that there was no violence to this child, that this truly was a situation where the adults were inebriated and a child was around water. And we can tell you that children around water without proper adult supervision is a recipe for disaster. That this is a possibility where this case truly is more of a abuse of a corpse case than a homicide case. There is that possibility, okay? And there is a possibility that them being responsible for her death due to negligence, but it not rising to a homicide. There is that possibility. This case does hold those features in it where we all may be looking at these parents like they're homicidal freaks, and it may be a situation where they know they were wrong and they lost a child because they were doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing, and they wanted to cover up that aspect of the crime, not that they physically unalive the child. So there are two different plausible theories with this one that's obviously a lot worse than the other. Could this have been a situation where she has been abused in the past and that's why we're getting, yes, it is a possibility. I worry about Summer in the care of her father because of how her father is, but I know that there are creepy dads out there that do creepy things, but treat their children, their own children, very well. So, which Don do we have? We really don't know, because we don't know him. I mean, we think we do, but in the grand scheme of things, we don't know who Don Wells is. We know that the Department of Children and Family Services were over there. We know Dawn has made comments in the past, if anything happens to Summer, it's going to be under her mother's watch. So he already knows that his wife was so far out there that she's not a good role model and not a good watcher of kids. I mean, there's been so many times when we've learned that law enforcement went to her house and she's passed out completely inebriated with all the kids running around. Okay, this was not a very good home for children. This was not a good home environment for any child, let alone a little girl. And I think that's kind of where we're sitting on this case. So give me a second. Let me pull all this back. Let me find some of those snow pictures and get those snow pictures downloaded here real quick so we can kind of look at some of those. Let me get my email up. I think we're done with all of this here. I like X and YouTube for our shows, because they just don't have the bogging down. Everything that you do online, from the articles, like the print. I can't use printed material anymore on this show. It bogs down the system too much with all their advertisements on it. I like to support. I like to support some. Publications, but they're making it more and more hard to support those publications, because I understand they need to make money. I'm not complaining about it. I just think there's a better way to do it than the way they're doing it, because they're just piling it so blessed much with too much. They just got too much. Let's see here. That's not it, so we'll keep going up. Okay, Lisa. Oh, look at those. Okay, let me get these. Let's download these. Download all. Okay, tell me that doesn't go into a zip. Shit, it does go into a zip. I don't like zips. All right, let me just download these individually. Okay. Bear with me, guys. I just want to make sure I have them all. I think I got all of them up, and I just got to download them now. So give me just a few moments, and I'm going to download them for all of you. I like this. I'm sorry. I am just a snow bunny. I really am. I love snow. I just think it is like just, I don't know why. I just think it's gorgeous. Okay, April. There's yours. You look like you got a freaking blizzard. Good gracious, woman. Good gracious. Okay. 29. Do we have 29 up here? Where the hell is it? Hold on. There it is. Okay. So I got April in Illinois. I'm not going to tell people who's. I'm just going to show them. We got Denise. Getting yours now. Oh, you got pretty ones. I'm not going to show the car, though, but I will show. I don't think anything else is identified there. Good. And who is this one was from? Eeyore. We got Eeyore. Eeyore, thank you. Salty Ma'am. Pulling yours now. Ooh, pretty. I love snow. I love snow. I love snow. You're not seeing them, so don't think that you're missing anything. You're not missing anything. I'm just downloading them so I can get them put up on the system, but I got to go through them all. And now we're with Michelle. Ooh, pretty. I got to wait until it lets me do I got to go through here and do it twice. Okay. Let's go. We're almost back. We're almost back. Okay, let's see what we got. Where did they go? They go in my photos or they go in my downloads? Downloads. They should be in my downloads. Okay, well then why aren't they in my downloads? Let's see what we got here. Download. Oh, there they are. Okay. Now these may not be in necessarily the biggest order. Let me move this one. Okay, and this can go bye-bye, delete. Okay, now I think we got a good, there they are. All right. Open with Google. All right, guys, they're popping up. Give it just a second. Give it a second. It might lag the system down. I'm already seeing my error message on YouTube. So I know while I was downloading all that stuff, I must have been a little hinky on here. So, sorry. There's no easy way to do it when we're live. I was going to say, Betty, we can forgive the computer system messing up, but you're messing the snow pictures. No, we're not messing with them. We just got to get them on the chat. That's all. See? Aww. Aww, there they are. Let me just get this down a little bit better for you guys so we can see them. I think I got them off just a little bit. Aww. Aww, the photos. Oh, hold on. Let me fix it so we can get the photos. Oh, the white photos. Looky, so pretty. Oops, I got a clip. There we go. Oh, so pretty. Okay, let's go. Okay. Now we got this one. Ooh, so pretty. Let me make sure it's coming in good. Ooh, it's so pretty. Let me move this over just ever so slightly so everybody on the portrait mode can see the photos too. Oops. There you go, right behind my head. Let's make this a little bit bigger. There you go. Look. Aw, yay! Oh, I love it. Oh, look at that fire hydrant. Love it, folks. Love it. Oh, pretty. Hi, Miss Delilah. I see you. We're going to deal with you here in just a second. Look at that. That looks like a Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace Hardware. Look at those lawnmowers. Look at that. What is that? Well, we got decorations. I still can't tell. Maybe it's a Walmart? I don't know, but look at that ice. Holy smokes. I love it. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go. Oh, what was that? Delilah, you don't like Mama singing? What? Delilah? You big old meanie. Oh, she's I mean, she's like, Mommy, I'm ready. Let's go. She's ready to go play fetch. Oh, look at that. Oh, let me pull it down. Aw. That's about as much as I'm going to show. I don't want to show too much of the house. Aw. Look. Oh, so pretty. I love snow, guys. It's so... Come here. You want to see the snow? You're seeing me go. Oh, come on. She's hearing me getting all excited, and she cannot stand not being part of the party. Okay, guys? She's a party animal. Meet Delilah Bullhorn. She can't know that we're having fun without her. She's a stingy little scooter booger. Look at that. There's my kind of snowman. Hey, you ready to party? Look at Delilah. Delilah says, I'm ready to party, Mommy. I'm ready to go play fetch. Can I play fetch with his nose? Can I play fetch with his nose, Mommy? Can I play fetch with his nose? I like that. Oh, I love it. I love it. You guys are doing great. Look at that. Look how thick the snow is. Good gracious. Look at that. White snow. Oh, beautiful. See, that's the kind of snow right there. I just want Florida. I just want Florida to have that thick little, just like I said, 2 inches across everything. I just think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. Oh, look at that. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love it. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. Love it, folks. Love it. And that look cold. That look cold, folks. Woo, brr. You guys don't even see all of this. It's cold. Look at that. Look at that. That looks like a blizzard. Don't. That looks like a blizzard, folks. Look at those trees. You can't even see the trees back there. Whoa. Oh, and here's the last one, folks. There it is. There it is. Oh, beautiful. You guys did an amazing job. An amazing, amazing job. Let me go back. Hey, Double Shot. It's nice to see you. If the trees and everything else is going to be dead, I want all the snow cover on. Exactly. Yeah, you make a valid point. Right on, right there. That's it. Exactly. But talk about, this is why I love snow. Snow to me, I'm from Florida. We don't get snow, right? If we're going to see snow, we got to go out of state, right? And so this is the time of year where everything is so beautiful. Many of you guys are getting the change of the season. We don't get that here in Florida. The little bit of cold wind that we get this time of year is welcomed. We love it, but it's not always here. So anyways, guys, we're going to continue to chip away at the Summer Wells case. We're going to continue to try to, find some semblance. None of this new information has still changed my mind that Don and Candace are responsible. It just hasn't. I'm looking at this case, there was times, we've been bouncing back and forth. Was this intentional? Was this unintentional? I don't believe she's alive. Okay. I'm not one of the people that believes Summer Wells is alive. I believe she lost her life that day. I believe she lost her life that day with her family. I believe that there was something else going on. Now, the question is, was it an accident or was it intentional? And based upon everything that I'm seeing on my end, I do believe she lost her life, but I'm not seeing the intent, I'm not seeing that aspect just yet. I mean, we've been working on this for several years. I would think that if there was a little something more that can hone in. Now, was this child abused? I do believe she was abused. Was she SA'd? There is that possibility. That possibility. But outside of assumptions, there's no evidence, okay? And even in this channel, we like to be factual about everything. Now, I do believe her parents are responsible, but to what degree? I have always bounced around with this case. Was this an accident or was this intentional? And I just feel, the more that we try to put this case back together again, it's Hunter. In my estimation, I think Hunter is going to be the critical key here, because I do trust his mother to know that her son was different, and he's never been the same again. I trust a mother. When a mother tells me that, I trust that. Okay, I very, very, very rarely have a mother ever make those statements to me. She's not the first one. I doubt she'll be the last one, but in every situation where a child has changed, there has been something major that happened that day. Okay? Whether it was a girl that was AR'd or whether it was something, they changed, and it was very noticeable, and they never were the same again. So this is a situation where a guy, not a girl, was forever changed. I don't think he was ARD. Okay. I think he witnessed something that changed him forever. Now, what did he witness? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. And knowing that she was with her mother and knowing that he was with her mother at the time that whatever changed him happened, it makes me believe that we know that there was twisted tea. We know that grandma just came from the hospital with a prescription, right? They were at the water hole, went back to the water hole. They were doing substances at the water hole that we know for a fact. So it sounds to me they got tatered up at the water hole and somebody forgot there was a child in the water. And I'm going to keep circling back to that until it's resolved, because that is the only threat I see that I can see. I mean, outside of other threats, like, they were so drunk they forgot Summer was behind the truck and ran her over. We've heard that. But then I would expect there to be markings on the outside of the vehicle, stuff like that. I don't think that there was. There was a lot of dogs in that area. There was some film, there were some film from that stable that I believe that was looking over there. There were definitely witnesses at the stable that said that they remember seeing Summer. So because early on we were wondering if she was even alive this day, if this was all just a big setup, but we got confirmation from the water hole, from the people because the stables that were up there, they were the ones that confirmed seeing all Brandis, Candace, Hunter, and Summer. And they remember seeing Summer playing in the water. She was alive that day. So the possibility of something happening to her sooner, or maybe after the Department of Children and Family left the home the night before, it doesn't hold water. Those factors aren't facts. They could be theories, but they do not hold water. There's evidence that proves that those things are not true. She was alive that day, and she was at that water hole, and there were witnesses. So we have to keep that, there. Now, what happened from that point? Was she abused to death, or did she drown? We don't know. We don't know. We know something happened, but those are the things that we need to try to put in place. And it's making it difficult because of Dawn's past, right? Dawn's past truly is clouding our judgment. I will tell you guys that. Dawn's past is clearly, it's clouding our judgment, because we're so hooked, because, a lot of us know how predators work. And she was a young girl. And for many of us, it's hard to get past those factors. But we have to, I truly believe Dawn Wells' history, his past, is distracting us from the truth. I do. And I think we need to remove that aspect of it so we can logically look at this case, because I do believe that something did happen to Summer, but what? Was it truly abuse from her dad, or was it an accident? Again, Hunter was not at their house that day. So we have to find a way to explain Hunter changing and being changed for forever. Okay? So that's just a critical factor that we have to entertain in any theory that we come up with on this channel, So anyways, guys, you guys take care. God bless each and every one of you. We will be back here later today. Sorry, I need to start taking my allergy pills again. I don't know what it is about this time of year, but I feel like I'm just a faucet. And I know many people are like that, but I have allergies anyways. And then this time of the year, it's 10 times worse. My eyes are starting to bother me. My nose is starting to bother me. I'm starting to get itchy. My skin is starting to get itchy. So I know I'm definitely having some allergies, some, external allergy issues. But anyways, guys, we will see you later this afternoon. This is one of many shows. We do have things going out on X, Instagram, Facebook, on my personal account on Facebook, on my Bullhorn Betty account on Facebook. We have 3 accounts with TikTok, which is Bullhorn Betty 1, Bullhorn Betty 2, and Right Move. And then, of course, on YouTube, we also have the 3. We have Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories, and Right Move. So please, if you're not signed up to all of those, please get signed up to them. We roll out every single day. Every single one of those accounts are being touched. So if you don't want to miss, and they all have different content on them. So if you like we're about to go. Why are you being so pushy? Get down, go. Pushy broad. You guys hear her over here? She's subtly trying to tell me, Mom, let's go. Let's hurry up. Come on, let's hurry up. Let's hurry up. Let's hurry up. You hear her? She's not a very good producer. I'm just saying, we're going to have to train her a little bit. A little better. She wants to go play fetch. I'm going to start saying fetch on here. I told my neighbor, I said, it's better than B-A-L-L, because when I say B-A-L-L, the word, she goes crazy. So she doesn't know fetch. So I'm going to tell you guys fetch, but when I'm with her, I'm going to call it, the B word. And then she doesn't go crazy when I'm talking about it on here. So if you guys talk about it, she loves to play fetch, okay? And we go outside every day to play fetch, and she enjoys it. And we go several times a day, and I literally run her. She's like a little bullet, just doom, 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 right? And so I got 2 balls out there, so I throw it, she brings it back, and she's running after another one, and running after another one, running after another one. So I literally wear her energy down, because that's what it's all about. If you want a calm dog, if you have a larger dog or a smaller dog, and your dog is a little anxious or has a lot of energy, when they have a lot of energy, they're going to be more into chewing your stuff up, chewing your shoes up, getting attention some other type of way. If you have a dog and your dog is having these type of behavioral problems, you might have a dog that needs to have more energy run out of them. Take them to a dog park, run them, play fetch with them, make them run, make them exert themselves, okay? So if you're having problematic with your dog, you just need to understand what your dog is telling you. Your dog is telling you something. They're telling you they need to play. More play, less things being injured, okay? Trust me. If any advice I can give to new animal owners, especially new puppy and dog owners, is run those dogs. You want an angel like Delilah? You've got to run those dogs. You got to get that energy, that nervous and anxious energy in them, out of them. If they feel run, they're exhausted, they've got their energy out, trust me, they don't have time to chew on your shoes. They don't have time to chew on your cords. I've had this, she's not chewed on anything. This dog has been a perfect angel puppy, okay? Now, she's been a perfect angel puppy since I've had her. She's turning into a perfect doggy puppy. Dogs get the zoomies. Yeah, that's it. Dogs get the zoomies. I was like zombies. They do turn into zombies every now and again. That's why you need to run them. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, it's the zoomies. So if you've got a dog that seems to be hyper, it's because you're not running them out enough. So that tells you, as the owner, you've got some work to do. If you don't have enough energy to get the energy out of your dog, you're going to have a wild dog. You're going to be always fighting with your dog, and that's no way to be. You want to love your dog. You want your dog to be healthy and happy and not destroying your house when you turn around. So the best thing you can do is run that dog. Get balls. Take them out. Get a little. If you don't want to run and you got bad knees or something, get one of those things that shoot shit. Okay? Make it go as far out in the field as possible. Okay? Run the dog. I didn't say run you. I said run the dog. I don't run. I stay in one spot, okay? I just want to let you know I'm a lazy pet owner, okay? I take the dog out there and I throw the ball. She goes and runs to the ball. She brings the ball back to me and I throw her another ball. Okay? I just run my dog and she's a perfect little baby angel. So make your doggy a perfect little baby angel. You guys see Michelle after dark. Michelle walks, right? You see her dogs. Her dogs are great dogs. Why? Where do you always see her? She always running them dogs, right? She got large dogs, and those dogs are well-behaved dogs. Why? Because they get plenty of exercise. Exercise is key and critical to proper puppy ownership. All right, guys, I love you. God bless. Have a great day. You don't need a lecture from Betty. So I will see you guys soon. I hope you guys enjoyed the beautiful snow pictures. Guys, if you guys have beautiful snow pictures, please send them to the Bullhorn Betty channel. And for all those that decided to do it, thank you guys. You guys brightened up a lot of people's day today, so we appreciate it. All right, guys, God bless. We'll see you soon.